welcome to the DLG Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Duder.
And I just finished 12 hours of work, no breaks, no lunch, ran to Walmart to do some shopping for the house, then ran home to do show notes, and then ran in here and got my second, I poured a first glass of whiskey. Now I'm on my second glass of whiskey, and I present to you my crumpled body for your entertainment. So that's where we're at. Somehow I'm going to pull this disaster out of the jaws of victory. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great, man. Feet are a little sore. Duder's visiting. It's DuderMcBadass. We've got in the studio this weekend, so that's exciting.
The DuderMcBadass?
The Duder.
One and only.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's in for work, and he stopped by to come early, so that way then we could go to a whole bunch of museums and check out places. Like we went to Balboa Park today. We went and saw the Natural History Museum, which was cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of really awesome, I like a lot of the geodes and the rock stuff they had on display, on each level.
Yeah.
That was really
each
neat.
level was different. Like at the bottom one was all the fluorescent geodes and stuff, and that was sick.
Nice.
That sounds pretty dope.
Every time I've seen different videos about 1,000 times on Reddit when somebody cracks open a rock and there's a geode inside. Never gets old. I was like, first of all, how the fuck did you know that that was in there? And then second of all, it looks like a dinosaur egg to me. And then you open it up, and it's just like, oh, it's like the suitcase in Pulp Fiction.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that was cool. And we also went to the Museum of Us, where we learned about, some of the stories I think a lot of people have heard about, but they had an entire exhibit on cannibals there and different archaeological things, and so that was kind of fascinating. Have you guys seen that, the cannibal exhibit?
No, but
that sounds really
heard
cool.
it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it was interesting. They had an entire room that you kind of circled into that was shipwrecked. They had a little raft, and it made it feel and sound with the lights and the music and just how isolated you kind of were in the museum exhibit, like you were on the raft. And you had to sit there and pull straws to see which one of you two would get eaten.
Geez.
You guys want to guess who's going to get eaten?
Yeah, was it you?
You?
Yeah, all right, I guess. I didn't line that up as good. Yeah, it was fun. It was really cool.
Oh man, that is crazy. It almost sounds like something you should do. Can and able, right?
What?
You can and you're
Jesus.
able. It's cannibal. All right. I'm just saying the word.
Okay, well, that's all right.
It should be a shit-a-don't or something like that. A can-able is just wow. It should be something good.
Oh,
Sounds like
Bobby
you put
level
humans in
yikes
cans.
with that one. But we also went to what was more exciting, I think, to me. At least yesterday, we went to the USS Midway, which was so
Was it your first
awesome.
time?
Yeah, I've been holding out. It was so cool.
It's awesome.
I love going on old ships. I've been on the Battleship Texas. I've stayed the night on it 4 times.
Oh yeah, they have.
Been on the Lexington, stayed the night on that. I've been on the Kid and stayed the night on the Kid.
Are you
Big fan. I
flying out to
sailors.
or
No, just the cold steel deck.
the takeaway I had about it, I was like, this is a gigantic warehouse on the water, below decks. The top is awesome, fucking how they write backwards, all that shit's fucking awesome. But the amount of space on the water, it's just you could put an army in here is basically what it is.
It's a city. It's a city on the water, man. They had dental offices and shit there.
Yeah.
They
They have a fire department. They have all that stuff. But
Yep.
I was shocked to find out this about. This is old information, maybe 20 years ago. But I was like, somebody's like, "Do you know how many aircraft carriers?" I was like, "I don't know, 200." They're like, "We have 9. There's 9. That's how crazy it is to build one of these things. 3 are in port, 3 are being repaired, and 3 are out deployed at all times, and then they switch them out and stuff. And I thought it was crazy. Anytime in countries acting up, we just park our shit in there, their shit, and they're like, we better calm our shit. You know what I mean?
we park our city next to that.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, we have a city in your country all of a sudden. You need to.
You know what's crazy is that there's about 5,800 people on those ships, man, and they all got a fucking job to do.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that had to spend time in aircraft carriers, and they're like, you legitimately can get lost.
Oh, I'm
Like,
sure.
It's bad.
It's enormous.
Start learning your bulkhead and frame numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
definitely.
just- it is massive. But you know what
Definitely.
also is massive is the state of Texas, where DuderMcBadass is from and where we're all going for DLG Con this year. September 30th to October 3rd. It's fantastic having a local in the studio with us. And I don't know, Duder, do you mind taking the wheel and talking a bit about Austin and how cool it is?
Yeah, absolutely. Austin is where I'm from. I grew up just north in Round Rock. I've been there my whole life. Been a lot of places, but it will always be home. We're going to be out on the lake, which is beautiful. I myself also live on the lake, so I am more than happy to come over there and show you guys around.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great time. I'm going to probably be preparing 2 or 3 briskets for everybody who comes. So you're going to miss out if you don't get some. It's going to be
Nice,
awesome.
dude.
You're
It'll
going
be
to love
so
it.
delicious.
Dude, so you've seen Austin completely transform
Oh, yeah.
over the last 20 years,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's
It's insane.
yeah, it
the
was
amount of
kind of
growth.
like a, I don't know, what was it before and what is it now? What'd you say?
So, I mean, like before, it was like a smaller college town, really. Like
Okay.
UT was big, but that was it. There was
Yeah.
no big industry or anything. You had like a couple of larger companies like Westinghouse and Cisco Foods, but that was it. And then all of a sudden, Texas Instruments, and then down the street from where I grew up, Dell, their corporate headquarters is there.
Oh,
And after that,
Whoa.
it just changed.
I just, yeah.
Like I remember when it was all fields, and now it's corporate office parks
Yeah.
and highways.
You sound so old right now. Like I met a guy where I grew up. And he's like, I remember when Newark, California was all orange groves. I'm like, all right, old man, calm down. Now I'm
does
the
feel
old
like
man. I
that.
just fucking turned 30 on Wednesday, and everything hurts.
So
Yeah.
what do they got to do to join the party, Days?
So you've got to first go onto our Discord, which you can find from dlgaming.net. And in the Discord, there is a channel called DLG Con Planning. If you click on that in the pinned, or it should still just be up there as one of the more recent things posted, is a document where all the information about DLG Con you can find. And that also includes like the directions of how to secure a room. We do have, how to secure a bed at this point, because we only have 2 beds available at the moment. Nope, I lied. It's 3. 3 beds available at the moment in a bunk room kind of style place. And those are going to be, if I could see, yes, 350 decals each, if I believe. And a decal is equivalent to a US dollar, so that's 350. So,
I know with all this inflation, who fucking knows?
no, but
Goddamn
it's gonna be such an awesome time. And like I said, there's only 3 beds available, so you can always reach out to me as well on Discord at Days. And so yeah, if you got any other questions or anything.
And just like Vegas, I guess if we run out of space, you can seek out accommodations somewhere else and then come hang out during the day or
Absolutely.
at night if you want to make some money.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, because that's another thing too. I would highly recommend that even if the rooms and the beds are all sold out, that you still come down and stay somewhere nearby. There's Airbnbs in the area, I'm sure. Otherwise, there's definitely going to be hotels in downtown Austin. And so you can always come by with the house and hang out with us anyway during the day. And at nighttime, there's a lake that we're on. There's a pool. There's a hot tub. I can't remember if I saw a pool table. I kind of feel, no, maybe. Well, I know there's a game room, and we're going to be playing board games as well, too. So it's going to be a great time, even if the beds are all taken. You
You've
should
never
definitely come and
been
visit.
and you've never heard our live stream. I mean, it's drinking, it's gaming, it's video gaming, it's frolicking because there's usually a pool.
There's a lot of swims getting
Yeah.
in. That's
There's bleeding.
There's a lot of overweight dads there.
Foot
okay?
open.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So all of those. If that sounds exciting to you,
Come join us in Austin, Texas this year.
it's always a good time, guys.
September 30th to October 3rd.
And this
Yes,
is the
sir.
first one I'm going to. So, yeah.
Wow.
Stop
Whole
bringing
cast
it.
will be there.
Everybody's going to be there.
Every
Awesome.
time you bring that up, we lose one person going. Just
King Tyron's
Nick
like,
is
I'm out.
putting it out there.
Christian gets it. That joke just kind of passed on you guys. But
No.
all right.
Last thing, Warconia says that Devolver Digital is in Austin.
There's a lot of
headquarters.
video game companies.
We
in
should
Austin.
fucking
I
reach
wonder
out
if
to
we
them.
can schedule a tour. We're like, hey, we got a bunch of.
Or something, or they send somebody else out to have some brisket and beer.
Yeah, maybe we can do an interview or something.
I'm literally
See if we get a blackout interview from Emilio.
I'm a huge fan of them.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
talk to them if you want to invite one of them to the house and do an interview.
Yeah.
I think they would go just for the brisket because we have like world famous chef Duder like catering. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about
Be
it.
awesome,
Don't create
yeah.
work for me over here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away here.
Yeah, speaking of work, this is a video game podcast, so might as well lead right into On the Radar, which are games that have come to our attention and checking out. Do you want to lead it off, Bobby, with your VITURE 1?
This was actually brought up by Warconius. He posted it in our Discord, which you can too. But VITURE 1 are, I can't believe this has not been invented yet. These are glasses that you wear that have basically monitors built inside them. So you can play video games on them, you can watch movies, you can stream stuff. They have an internet connection. Yeah, here's what's crazy about this. When I was in, I want to say second grade or something, we had to do some project where we invented something, and it was kind of like, I mean, it wasn't like that inventive, but my invention was this: glasses that you could wear, and you would, I like created a little thing that you attach to the glasses, and you would put like what it was a little piece of paper with a word of like a movie written on it, but you know, I guess today it would be like an SD card. So I guess what I'm saying here is I already invented this, and these people. Will
I'll
be
take
here
my
to
money
lawyer.
now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bobby's VITURE 1.
Should we just all invest now? Because after the lawsuit, it's all going to go to you anyway.
Yeah.
We should just dump all our coffers right into this, right?
And these guys are making a lot of money. So their goal was like 20,000, and they're at 2.5 million. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wait, 20? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. 20,000. That seems way too low.
That's like a phone call.
Maybe that was like the first goal or something. But yeah.
Jeez.
And the video that they have is actually pretty good because it's hard to market something like this
Yeah.
because you can't really see it unless you use it. So their video shows a lot of people actually using the glasses and reacting to it and describing it, you know, kind of a man on the street approach. So I thought that was a smart move. Although, and the glasses, they look normal, which is nice. But if you look at the people wearing them, it kind of stands off their
Definitely.
face a little
Very
bit. It
far
looks
off.
weird. It looks
Yeah.
a little strange.
Yeah. Unless you're looking for straight on.
Unless you're looking head on.
Yeah. It's funny that you watched this video. I didn't watch this one. I watched the other ones. But yeah, there's already been like PC Gamer already took a look at this, and a few other like 2 or 3 other people had taken a look. So I watched their review, and they're honestly pretty happy with where it is already, and there's still development to be done. So that's pretty fucking sweet, man. So there's a neck collar thing that goes around your neck, and that's where all the hardware and memory is. So you would put a game on your neck collar thing, and it would stream it to your eyeglasses.
Oh, I see
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. And so yeah, I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned any price points on this. Seems like something that would be a little on the expensive side, but it can do 60 frames a second, 1080p, which
$1,000?
maybe.
Let's just throw something out there. What do you think, Duder?
I'd pay no more than $1,200. I think.
1,200, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's a little bit more than like a high end, like a reference from Steam maybe for VR. But
I saw a whole thing that like one of their vignettes is all about like how stylish they are and how they went to a design school or design house to like make them. I mean, I think they look normal, but I'm not like none of those people are fucking gonna get laid tonight from wearing those.
All right, so
In your glasses, dude?
Oh, they're the worst. I want to remind everybody that's watching the stream, these are not for looks. These are my work glasses, and I just don't want to put on contacts for the show for 7 people that watch the stream. But what I do
Wow.
is lower my voice for the thousands of people who listen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
okay, so it's saying the suggested pledge is what, $400? So is that going to get you a pair of glasses possibly? Maybe a little more than 400, 429.
$429, and it's going to retail at $549 after Kickstarter. So that's pretty affordable.
God
Yeah, that's
damn.
not bad. I think it'd be harder to sell it if it was more expensive.
I'll give them $15.49 if they can get me some time to use this thing once I get it.
All right. Who's up next?
My radar tick for this week is for a game that just came out. I talked about this before, but they didn't really have any details or anything like that about it, which is Chaos Gate Daemonhunters. It's a Warhammer 40K game that
We know.
from-
We know.
It takes a lot from XCOM because it's one of those turn-based strategy games. A lot of people are saying that this is one of the ones that rivals Mechanicus, which is known to be like one of the top turn-based combat games of all time. I've heard a lot of reviews from non-Warhammer fans and a lot of Warhammer fans, and they all tend to agree that it sits at like at an 80. So if you like turn-based combat, you want to try something different, pick it up. Apparently the customization for this game for your characters and like loadouts and stuff is really, really, really high. There is no like locked loadouts for anything in the sense of like you can have your healer have like a rocket launcher if you want, like and things like that. So the game is really moldable, I guess you can say.
I like the graphics. I like they're not like super clear, super sharp graphics. They're kind of dirty and muddy. I don't know. I'm digging it. I'm digging the look of it.
Yeah, no, that's what some people actually complained about was that like they're like, oh, the game kind of looks like a mobile game as far as the graphics go. But a lot of people say that the game runs great. Everyone says that they haven't had like a game crash or any like stability issues. Like apparently this game was well tested for that. Like no one ever really crashes and loses, any information or any saves or anything like that.
Was there a demo?
Yes,
Nick,
there
I
was.
played the demo. Okay, I
Yeah.
remember now. Yeah.
So another thing about this game is that the one complaint that a lot of people have is the difficulty scaling. So apparently, like going from normal to hard is like going normal to like impossible. So it's all right. And, I might pick this up if I don't have anything to play. It's sitting at an 82 right now at Metacritic. So
I'm done with that. This is interesting to me. Yeah, I like it.
yeah, there's 5,100 people playing right now.
Pretty good numbers.
What do you got, Amanda?
I've got for mine Lost Nova. It's kind of like it reminds me a lot of Stardew Valley. And it looks like it's just going to be kind of fun and interesting. There's some mechanics in this that are not exactly like Stardew Valley where you can jump and you can gather different things. You basically land on like a planet that you're not familiar with. It's an alien planet, and so you're going to just explore and craft and trade, and you can like upgrade your way back home. And so I really like the cuteness of the jumping, and it just seems like it'll be a nice, like, relaxing kind of game. It just came out on the 11th of May, so just a few days ago, and it's got like a 10% off sale going on right now, but it's sitting at $13.49. So I don't know. It looks like it would be a phenomenal Xbox game. So so far
looks
the reviews
very
are coming
cute,
out
and
very positive. Yeah,
I like the aesthetic. It's pretty great.
I like
Is
it
that
too.
a 90 or 80? I can't see. Even with my glasses, I can't.
90.
98.
98%. Whoa. Yeah, that's
Whoa.
cool. What was I gonna say? It kind of looks like Adventure Time. The art,
Yes.
but yeah.
But the
fucking looks
colors,
awesome.
I think,
Yeah.
are like really
Vibrant.
and I don't know. They remind me of like some 80. I don't know about 80s, but just like like a alien space kind of filter on the color
The
scheme
way you
of this
move
game.
around, it reminds me of Don't Starve too.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh yeah, I can
yeah,
see
looks
that.
good.
Yeah, it looks relaxing, which I like that.
What's the price tag on this game?
I think $13.49 for Lost Nova.
Okay.
Don't forget, you can jump in this game.
Yeah, you can jump, which is cool. Well, I like the animation that they have for the
Yeah,
jump.
yeah.
You know, yeah, it's like a big jump.
All right. Oh,
I
God.
guess it's me. I put Citizen Sleeper up here for you, Days. Once I saw what it was, I was like, not for me. Probably for days.
No. But go on, yes.
All right. Apparently, you're like this worker bee. That's maybe a drone or something. Anyway, you get lost from your infinite work. Somehow you got lost into space. You find this space station. You land there, and you have basically no name, no history, or anything. And you have to start your life all over. And it seems completely story based. It's like you're building relationships with people and trying to figure out what's going on. It's overwhelmingly positive right now. With how many reviews there? I don't get the gameplay loop. It just seems like they're just filling out skill trees and then options basically. But definitely story heavy, and the sci-fi setting, being the space station and stuff. And 553 giving it overwhelmingly positive. So I don't know. So
Yeah,
no? Is that a hard no?
Well, I don't know. To me, it just kind of it felt a little bit like it was too much. Like I'm with you. Like I kind of struggle to figure out the like gameplay and like what you're truly supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
But-
like there's much gameplay.
Yeah, and I'm kind of I don't know. Like I'm definitely on the fence and conflicted about it. I don't think I would want to pay like a bunch of money and risk that, but
Here's my question then. If you had a scale, like if you could turn the dial between story and gameplay, how much percentage would be story and how much would be gameplay? Or is it game
really
dependent?
I think it
It
really
depends
depends
on
on
the
the
game.
game
Yeah.
because if the story is really that captivating, then
Right.
I don't mind so much. Like I felt like Artful Escape was a wonderful story and there was not really much gameplay in it at all. Detroit Become Human, also not a crazy amount of gameplay, but a phenomenal story. So it's like I could sit there and basically do a picture book of a story that's a video game and a little bit more immersive and interactive if it's that good of a story. But with this, I don't know. It feels like coffee talk with like a lot of like you said, like just going through skill
Choices.
trees.
Yeah.
It's almost like too many choices. Like
Yeah.
I like choices, but I mean shit, if I wanted to drown in an overwhelming amount of choices, it's just I'll go outside.
It's pretty too. I like
It
the
is
aesthetic.
pretty. I love the setting. I love the cyberpunk
You
feel.
can try
like
it for 2 hours. And then send
yeah,
it
you're right.
on
I should
back.
just stop being a negative Nancy about it. I looked at it and was like, complex.
Nah.
No.
Too much stuff.
not
I don't
naked
like
ladies
stuff.
in
I got
VR.
enough
I don't
stuff.
mind.
Yeah, maybe I'm just poo-pooing
Well, I don't know.
on it.
Sometimes you see a game and you just like I don't know. You don't like the cut of its jip. I guess you know what I'm saying. It's like a old phrase I'm
That's
throwing
really
out
late
there.
to whistle
But you just
about these
yeah,
things.
you're not into it at first glance. Could change though.
But maybe I need to give it a chance because, like Warconius just said, apparently it's like Disco Elysium. Oh man, that is.
Those are the vibes that I got, and that's why I put it
Yeah.
like this one's for days.
You threatened
the
me with a
one
good
time-
time with that. Then
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious.
All right, Bobby, you got more shit.
Yeah, I do. Okay, this next game is called Be Funny Now! Exclamation mark. Yeah, it's kind of aggressive,
Weird.
but this is a game. This is a party game, like a Jackbox type game, and basically, it's kind of hard to explain. So let me just read the tagline, Christian. If you could go back there, Be Funny Now is a competitive party game that. Oh my God, my eyes. That
We're
pits
getting
you.
so old, dude. We can't read it.
I did. I am getting old. That pits you against the world. Write and draw your funniest answers to an ever-growing list of hundreds of questions, and then judge your peers' work. So, yeah, basically, you're trying to come up with the best riff on whatever the question is. So, somebody draws something, and then you have to guess what it is. I don't know. I saw this, and again, like I had this flashback. The very first Nintendo game that I ever got was Win,
Pictionary?
Lose, or Draw. Yeah, which if you remember was a TV show back in like, I don't know, the 90s or something. But, you know, I begged my parents to get a Nintendo back in the day like we all did. And they were very concerned about violent video games, you know, at 8-bit Nintendo. But so the game that they got was Win, Lose, or Draw. That was the very first Nintendo game that I ever had. And it was a horrible game. I mean, if you look it up on YouTube, it's just like you imagine doing this on a Nintendo controller. You draw a picture, and then the other person has to type. There's like a keyboard on screen, and you have to move around and select the letters, and you have to type what you think it is. And it programmed into this game are the exact words of what it is.
Oh, you can't fuck it up at all.
Yeah. Plus, like the other team has to turn away from the screen when it shows what you're supposed to be drawing to the other team. It was just, it was janky as hell. And it was, but you know, I played so much of it because it was the only game that I had. Yeah, there you go. There's Win, Lose, or Draw. And yeah.
I mean, that drawing's pretty good. It's a bag of bones.
That is pretty good. I don't think I could draw that well with a Nintendo controller. So this game, Be Funny Now, is just, it kind of reminded me of that. Like you draw a picture and people like come up with guesses or make funny jokes about what it is. And then you get rated on what those are. So I don't know. Party games are hit and miss for me. I feel like, you know, in DLG Con, this is, you're going to see it happen. Like we're going to load up a party game, maybe something new, and we're going to know within the first 2 minutes whether or not it's a good one or not.
Absolutely. My only critique on this is it does seem like a single game in a Jackbox box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. But, Jackbox, you get the whole thing.
Yeah, you get like 4 or 5. I don't know. Days you bought them.
It's typically like 5, yeah.
Yeah, like 5 games. Mm-hmm. Usually only play one of them, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, and
this seems like one of
Okay.
Or
yeah,
2.
Nope.
There was one like
2. Yeah.
Yeah, the rapping robot one got kind of caught on.
I think it was my favorite one of all time. Oh, that and was the one
Quiplash.
Yeah, Quiplash is the classic.
Quiplash
That's always good.
Yeah. I like the Murder Mystery Hotel like trivia one too, though. They have that where it's just basically trivia.
I never played it. I played it once.
A fun one.
That was really fun. Me and my friends always play that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no price point on this yet, and it comes out in 2022. No specific release date, so we'll see. Might be good. Might be if it comes out before DLG Con, maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, that's true.
Duder, what do you play generally?
Recently been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
Mainly because I got everybody in G4U's Discord hooked on it.
Oh, good. Are you guys playing together?
Yeah.
Now, I don't even know this. Because of the mystery of the game, can you all upload into the same server at the same time and be like a team?
Yep, 5 people at a time.
Oh,
However,
can?
you have no idea that they're your team. So.
Oh, by looks alone.
Yeah, there's no like indicator like, hey, this is Bobby, this is Emilio. No,
right.
like,
is there a wave function or what?
There is, and there's like localized VoIP, but it really doesn't help in the middle of a gunfight.
Yeah.
Or like
not at all.
A very typical story is like me and one of the guys in the community, Mordo. It was his first match, and we went to woods, and he's like, "Hey, I hear a guy over here," so I just turn and shoot. He's like, "Oh, I'm dead." I was like, "Oh man, who killed you?" And then it shows my name on the screen, and I was like, "Oh, my bad, but get wrecked." Welcome to Tarkov, you know.
Yeah. But who killed you? But also, it was me. Yeah, that's super hardcore fucking game, man.
Oh yeah, it takes a lot of time and patience. You'll either love it or you will uninstall it.
No, Nick likes it. I think you play like when the server resets, and then to a certain point, and then you.
So, I've done like the quote unquote like end all be all, which is get the Kappa container, which requires hundreds of hours of game time every wipe. And so it's just like, I really only play when the wipe happens. And the only time which is like when everything resets, everybody starts off at level 1, everybody starts off with basic shit again. I only play during that time or like when my friends need help. So,
yeah. I found the later wipe doesn't appeal to me as much as the earlier wipe does, just because you're either terribly mismatched or you're going up against people who aren't bringing gear, which makes the PvP less enjoyable.
But, but you have less gear also, though, right?
Well, I'll go and load it, and I'll get a guy who has a pistol. I'm like, oh, what a waste of ammo. Like, I'd rather.
You know what's funny is you brought this up, and Escape from Tarkov just made a huge change last week in regards to real money trading.
Yeah, that's a big one. Like
what happened?
So go ahead. I'll let you explain it, Nick.
So one of the things that have been plaguing the game is hackers, right? And the only 99% of the people that hack are hacking to make money. They'll buy like 10 Tarkov accounts, get banned like once a week, and like they'll constantly make money. And the way that they make money is by selling stuff from the game to people. And because a lot of people want the Kappa container, which is like the last like kind of like trophy in the game, a lot of people will pay that money because some of the items require like hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of looking for them. And so what they have done is they have limited the things that you can drop. And what like as like for your friends. So like normally what would happen is if like I drop something for you, Emilio, like let's say like you're like, oh, I need a medical kit. I'm about to die, right? Or I need this item, or I need this key, or like there's a bunch of other examples.
Yeah.
But they've limited the things that can be dropped. And that is driving a lot of people like into a fervor about are they going to keep playing the game or not? But the thing is, the company's already announced that the amount of cheaters has drastically decreased. Like it's no longer lucrative for people to cheat in this game. And so that was their big like hubbub that they've done this past week. And like I said, it's a really split issue. So
Again, I've done this before, but hats off to the Tarkov team because they created a genre and they come up with like novel solutions to problems. I'm not saying this is the be all the end all, but they did something, and they're fighting something that other games can't stop at all. And they hire anti-cheat or whatever to try to cover it, but they're coming up with novel solutions. So I like somebody over there is thinking of new shit, and that's dope, right?
And so a lot of people are like, well, I can't drop things for my friends anymore. You're stopping the dynamic of the game. And they're like, well, yes and no, but there's so many more people who are complaining about the fact that like so there's something known as like the cheaters cap. And what this is, and a lot of people have tested this, is like they'll go into a game, right? And they'll go in with like a pistol and like a med kit, right? Which is nothing. Like there's no reason for you to really kill that person in the sense that like you're trying to get their stuff. And they'll just have a normal game. They'll kill some AI like things, or maybe kill a player or something, and like they'll be happy with what they get. But the other thing that happens is like, let's say you like, oh, me and Emilio are going to play, so I'm going to put all my best stuff. And then you start the game, and then within 5 seconds, you just get shot in the head, which is like statistically impossible because no one can find you in 5 seconds on most of the maps. And so it makes no sense. And what's happening is there's a hack where hackers are able to see what you have on you, what you have in your inventory, and they just teleport behind you and shoot you in the back of the head. And so that ruins a lot of things for the people in the game. Like it's a big deal. So
Dude, are you got
I don't
anything else to add on that, or do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I think it's a great idea. I have a couple of key card cases full of labs cards that I just don't use because it's not worth it, because I know I'm probably going to get hacked and die in labs, because that's what they do. They'll buy a labs card, they'll drop it to somebody who's paying for a run, and they'll run them through labs, give them all the gear. They don't have to have any of the keys because they can loot through walls and stuff. So the fact that they're fixing that by making it just so that you can't drop a labs card to some little Timmy, some little five.
Right.
That right there alone is going to make it to where labs is runnable again, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and that's the end game of the map, or of Tarkov. It's the end game map. So, right now,
I'm going to throw out this idea only because I haven't seen it since. In City of Heroes, when you played your superhero MMO, it was a superhero MMO. When your Timmy came in, your friend that you're like, dude, you gotta play this. You could become their sidekick, and they would automatically be one level below you. They would only have like the shittiest shit, but the damage would scale to the right amount, So that might be something else they could look into, because bringing in fresh meat as your friends, that's what they are, right? So. I don't know. I always liked that. I always liked that I was level 50. I could bring in my friend. He'd be level 49. Yeah. And so I didn't have to hand him shit. We'd be looting shit, and he'd be getting it,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, but a lot of people see this as a really good thing, and a lot of people see it as a really bad thing. And to be honest, even the developers have said like publicly on Twitter, like we're going to lose some players, but a lot more player retention is going to happen because of this. And
Yeah.
so I'm on the boat of I support it. I think there's some things that you should be able to jump for your friends, like for example, like some medkits and stuff. But you know,
That's what I was gonna say.
That's
Is
something
there
to be ironed
monetary
out.
value in medkits though?
Well, what it is it's not medkits. They just banned a bunch of medical things like blanket wise, because one thing that people would trade are injections, which are these things that you can use in the game to make yourself faster or stronger and take more damage or automatically heal and things like that. And so they're just like, okay, you can no longer drop medical supplies.
Here at DLG Con, we always trade injections right before the show, just so you
Yes.
guys know. All right, let's move it
Oh,
on.
boy. On
I
that
got a
note.
piece, so somebody else to jump in.
All right.
All right. Well, yep. There's no good transition. We're gonna talk about Ravenous Devils.
Yeah.
This game, I popped up on my little like discovery queue. You know, it's a horror cooking game. It's just gonna be like a management game. This is like very Sweeney Todd. Also, totally goes in line with going to the Cannibal Museum right here, dude. Because it
geez.
is basically you are having this, you run this business where you are trying to attract people to come into your restaurant and eat. And I think your husband or somebody else in the party that you're controlling does like the barbershop thing. He's a tailor. He kind of, and as a tailor, he like convinces somebody to get their measurements and then will kill them and dump them down a chute where the woman then will prepare the food. And they'll also garden. And so, yeah, you can see here the guy is just like killing the dude and he's going to drop him down the chute and they're going to chop them up and cook them into meals and then sell it in a restaurant. So you have multiple businesses that you have to maintain while also simultaneously like maintaining this loop of getting enough people to kill to then serve to other people to lure them into killing them. So this like crazy
Jeez.
cycle. There's a demo that you can play. So I'm very curious and interested in playing the demo at least. Yeah.
This game's only $5. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
But we
You know what
just
this
talked
reminds me
about
of,
a
like, the
game like
layout?
this.
Is that Fallout mobile game, the one where you like you build stuff and you like develop rooms and stuff? Like it's just the way
Yeah.
the layout is.
Fallout Shelter.
Fallout Shelter.
Fallout Shelter, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that cross section look like an XCOM, not the tactical turn-based part. But yeah, we had just talked about a game a few weeks ago, but similar concept, except you were just running the restaurant and
Godlike
you were-
Burger.
Godlike Burger, yes. I remember it had a really bad name that I didn't like. But that was way more cartoony. Had a whole different feel. This looks more, I don't know, they're going for a more realistic portrayal, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised that the price is so low on this. And this came out April, not too long ago.
April 29th is when it came out. So
Okay.
far, the reviews are back
wow.
positive, but decide for yourself. There's a free demo. I always love that.
That's what's up.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right, I got one more game here, RiffTrax the game. So of course I was looking at that Be Funny Now game, and I saw this and like suggested, and I was like, oh my god, there's a RiffTrax the game.
What's RiffTrax?
RiffTrax is like the new version of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a bunch of people sitting in a theater cracking jokes about a bad movie, and I'm like, how are they going to turn this into a game? But I guess it plays just like the show. So you watch a movie and then you type in your funny comment and then it gets played and you vote on which one's the best one. I was never really a huge fan of MST3K or RiffTrax, but the game might have potential because, I don't know, there's a lot of things. I feel like to be really funny, you can't say stuff that would be allowed on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I could see this being a lot of fun at DLG Con or playing with your friends, but things would not be very PC. But I don't know. The cool thing about the game is you buy one copy and then everybody can play, so you don't need to buy multiple.
nice.
copies.
Oh, well, then this is going to end up being a DLG Con game, dude.
Yeah.
What?
This looks like it'll be fun.
This is where they lost me. I'm cool. I like what they're trying to do, but it's like preloaded clips of movies. I
I
wish they
can't
would.
imagine it's the whole movie.
I just kind of wish they would have like let you watch a movie together,
just gonna say, that would
right?
be
Like
great,
upload your own
yeah.
movie or whatever
Well,
the fuck.
The reason they do the preloaded ones is because you can either type in your own comment or you can pick from a selected list of comments.
No, I
which-
get it. Like
Yeah.
that would have been good. Plus what I'm saying,
Mhm.
like
Maybe it's got
I think
mod
you guys-
support.
yeah,
That'd
You
be
guys
great.
said this earlier about the other game. This just seems like a Jackbox game that comes in the pack.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like Jackbox should just straight up buy this and just be like, all right, we got a new one for the new game. You
But-
know, Jackbox 43.
Jumping on the other side of that train is like, what are these people supposed to do? Not try or just sell their idea to Jackbox? So
That's
you
true.
know, do it. Like get it out there. Maybe next time you'll be hired by Jackbox to make some more money. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yeah, keep on plugging away. We'll find something. Maybe this game's fucking awesome. Maybe it's super fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
maybe. I mean, it's $10, and for that, you know, you and a whole bunch of people can play. So I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah. So, Ultimate Battle Simulator 2000. No, just 2. Gummy bought it, and he was playing it, and he says, so I was watching it because he was streaming it on Discord. Have we mentioned how good our Discord is, guys? You should be there. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, all the cool kids are there.
Yeah, you get to watch Ultimate Battle Simulator. He put 1 million Roman soldiers versus 1 million was the first thing that I saw. And he had no slowdown or no chugging going on whatsoever. And if you would have done that on Ultimate Battle Simulator, well, you couldn't. I think it was hard capped at like 200,000 or something like that. So he did 1 million versus 1 million, and
Well,
not
he
only-
also just recently built a massive game.
he has a fucking monster rig. He has the what the load goes on the CPU on this, right? Bobby, like a lot.
I
of
don't
it?
know, but yeah, the CPUs he's using is an Intel 12900.
Yeah, he said it's the
so-
best CPU there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, though, I mean, 1 million units. And then he put like 10 John Wicks versus like 3 million ducks. Which
That's
this is
hilarious.
what this game is all about, just like ridiculousness, right? But I'm watching his video, and it's so much better than the old one. You can literally zoom in all the way to 2 people fighting, and zoom out all the way to watch 1 million people fighting. And there's carnage and wreckage all on the ground behind them, and you can see who's dying. You have meters showing how many of each faction is dying. You can make as many faction as you want. You can mix the factions, whatever the fuck. I saw, what else did it do? Like 200,000 trolls versus 2 million zombies, and the zombies look like lawn clippings just flying out because these trolls are like cave trolls from Lord of the Rings. They're just swinging their club, and these zombies are flying through the air. It was awesome looking. I'm totally down for this game. I knew that I was going to buy it as soon as it was announced, but it's an early access, and I'm like, I don't know if this is time. But based on what he had said, there's a lot of different factions that you could pick, or whatever you call like groups.
Doesn't this game have huge modding support?
Oh, it will.
like,
Yeah, as soon as they put that in, dude, that's when it's game over. It's like you got
Yeah,
everything.
like you get like
got
Darth Vader versus
Jedis.
like 1,000
Exactly.
younglings. Yeah, it's.
Exactly.
I've seen the other Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator just have like these most absurd units, and I don't know if that's from the modding scene or if that's from like other people, but it just looks fun as shit. So
Yeah, it's $20.
It's 15% off right now, so $17.
$17. I might pick it up right now and be ready for when the mods come out. I'm just a sucker for these games. I do like the total accurate battle simulator a little more generally because
It's more of a game.
it's more of a game. You have more agency. This is just like
Well, this is a
you're-
simulation. There's no goals.
Yeah, you're just watching the shit go happen. On a totally accurate one, yeah, you're trying to get something done, and you can like inhabit any of the guys and fight as them too. I think you could do that in this too, but it seems a lot less special. Yeah,
Interesting.
but not talking shit. Like just so that your eyes could see something like this is a spectacle, man. This is like when Braveheart came out when I was a younger lad. It's crazy.
Hi, when I was a young lad back then.
Look at this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maybe we'll shoot and just watch an entire battle and war unfold.
Yeah.
And
What
have free
would
reign,
happen?
like, yeah.
Yeah. How many ducks does it take?
How many ducks does it take? That is, the ultimate question.
And that's it for On the Radar, folks. We talked about, I don't know. I'm drunk.
A lot of games.
Yeah,
Talk
a
about
lot of
quite a
games.
Let's talk about some games that we did play. Who would like to go first?
I do, because I want to talk about something that was tentacular. dude.
Was it?
Yeah, Tentacular. I played that game because, it was it. I got quite a bit to say about it. The game is great. For starters, I really liked actually the options and the amount of options that you had. You can adjust the size of your tentacles, like you can adjust, and also too, at least for me, I'm a fan of being able to play games in other languages. I think it's a fantastic way to kind of learn the game, and they have such a wide range of of languages, that you can change this game into, which is the perfect game for that because it's like simple, it's like, oh, hi, yeah, what is that? Did you touch some crystals? Like, it's not dialogue intensive, which is great because what it is focused on is solving these puzzles and kind of stacking and moving things and interacting with this world, which is just so much fun because it's just, to me, so therapeutic to like grab a shipping container and just yeet into the ocean, just or person. I found myself spending a ton of time just like laughing at grabbing people and chucking them because then they pop down in a little like parachute and come back and just continue like nothing ever changed. And I thought that was hilarious. I don't know if they intentionally did that or not, or if that's just some little bug for them to not react at all to just being picked up by an enormous kraken and just chucked off an island and then just come back like, yeah, and as I was saying, so this
Oh,
game
yes,
to me was
Tuesday. The
so
tentacles got me
funny.
again.
Now, who are you? Are you their god? Are you just
No,
a
you were
buddy?
adopted by some like family on the island, and everybody just loves you. And then they put you to
Aw.
work. It's like a cute, wholesome little game, but that has a lot of fun moments too. Where, like I said, I just was like picking up stuff and chucking it for a while. But there's some fun, different puzzles and things too. Like you have these. They take two. Like electrical wires, and you have to use them as a slingshot for things to knock a bunch of stuff off and help clear these like towers of just shit that has accumulated over time. And there's like little things in this gameplay that I love that I just thought the details were cool. Like anytime you needed to go inside of a building, you actually just lift it up because it's on a hinge. It's like everybody on this island like grew up with you and helped change their way, so that way it was always an interaction because they do need your help for a lot of things. And so, but it's just fun. It's already so far really cute and funny. Like it kind of reminds me of the Rick and Morty game that came out. That I can't remember what it was officially. It's just that kind of like goofiness.
called, Bobby? Rick and Morty.
The
The
VR,
VR
game
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
that just came out.
No. The one that they have.
Like Rick and Morty's
there's
Adventure.
virtual reality, but then there's
no,
the
it's
other
not
Virtual
one.
that one.
reality,
It's
yeah.
it's
Oh.
not
Something
this one. It's the
business,
other one.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
Accounting.
Well, there's that one, and then there's another one.
Accounting Plus.
I think there's another one.
Accounting Plus 2.
No,
I don't know.
Trover saves the
Oh,
universe.
Trover.
Oh,
yes.
that one.
Yeah, there's elements of it that kind of reminds me of Trover, and it's also like funny. Like I found myself just genuinely laughing at it, and I might as well lead into the other one because I bought Tentacular. They had, and I'm not sure if they have it still going on. This game came out on the 24th of March, by the way, and so far is positive. But there is a Devolver sale going on right now, so I bought both Tentacular and GORN
Gorn's
together.
always in the top
Gorn.
three or four most recommended.
I have
VR
got to
games.
talk about GORN. Yeah. So like I said, I just bought this because it kind of was just like, okay, well, this looks funny enough. And since I definitely want Tentacular, like just on the name alone, I was like, I'll get GORN. Also hilarious name, GORN. Like, and it feels very goofy like that too. You are this big bumbling, like, dude, they all look the same. Everything's funny. Like you run around with a huge mace, but it's almost like it's made of fucking rubber. Like as you're running around with it, and you're just like slinging this at people and to these heads that are watching you.
You're
It
a
is-
gladiator.
You're a gladiator in a coliseum fighting people, and it is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And it's gory, and it's wonderful, dude. You keep picking up weapons and certain things. I found myself laughing so fucking hard. Right there, they just chopped the dude's arm off, grabbed it, and beat another dude with another guy's dead hand. Like, in VR, this is just stupid fucking fun. It's awesome.
Hold on, I have a quote from Days somewhere. Okay, Days. I enjoy story-based games, and I don't really like killing just for the sake of killing.
I'm in a
was that
different
you?
week I don't know. Is that you know what, man? I'm an onion, bitch. All right.
I got laid.
No, I like playing different games, you know? But yeah, this one's just fun. VR is a totally different world, you know? It's a totally different beast. This shit is just funny.
Dude,
But
that
this-
looks so good.
But this game, though, I will say, like, this game definitely had my anxiety rising because I would sit there and I'd be beating some dude and, like, hitting him with, like, a mace, and then I'd turn around and there was a guy already right there ready to hit me, and then, of course, I scream because I'm a little bitch and it's very easy to scare me. And so, yeah, it just kind of got to be too much. I was like, okay, I need to take a break, but this is a lot of fun.
Seems awesome.
I remember this is one of the first VR games that people would stream and like make videos about. And dude, I remember when this game only had 8 levels, and then, like, just to see it now and see all the crazy shit is so awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. You definitely need to be careful though. It's a controller breaker for sure. Like this game just like just like Battle Sisters, man. I jammed my thumb on Battle Sisters. I punched my table playing this game, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a little break. I think I'm getting I think I need to calm down a little bit.
Dude, how much VR experience do you have?
I've got a friend of mine who has one, but
Which one do you know?
he's got the Oculus,
Oh, okay.
and I've done.
nice.
There's one where it's like you're in a bar.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, just start
You're the
random bar
guy-
fights. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is awesome.
Yeah. What's good about that game is you can have, I forgot how it works, but other people can be the patrons and fighting that guy. That's just the drunken guy. Yeah, it's awesome. Just on regular controllers, you can have people fighting that guy. That's a drunken bar fight, I think.
Yeah.
It's just free.
That's
Right there, yeah,
hilarious.
drunken bar fight.
Apparently, GORN now has local multiplayer, so that's fucking cool. I didn't even know that.
That's pretty fun.
Nice. I wonder if that works with Steam Remote Play. I mean, it must.
Oh yeah, that would be really good.
that
So
would be awesome.
maybe for the second time ever, I literally did what I said I was going to do, was play everything that was on my radar last week. And so that's my highlights. It's like I was able to copy and paste over. It was pretty sweet. Let me tell you,
Nice.
saved me a whole 2 minutes of labor. So anyway, I played Seraph's Last Stand. It's at the time was an 89-cent game. So I said it was a lot like.
Well, it was 99 cents with 10% off, so
Right.
89
Wi-
cents. Yeah, so you didn't miss out on some crazy deal, just to be clear.
Which you talked so much shit about, Bobby. Like, you got to put yourself on sale, dude. 10% is still 10%.
I mean, at that point, you're just doing it so you can say you're on sale.
And funny enough, dude, I saw like a developer, just like thing that he put out a post. He said that so many people were saying that they got so much gameplay out of this game and they couldn't give him more money with any DLCs or anything. There's like, he didn't charge enough. So he put out the OST for like, you could buy the OST for another 99 cents. And then you'll be in it for $2. But either way,
Nice.
good little game, man. Not Space Invaders, more like Missile Command. A little more like Missile Command. So you got these aliens coming down, black and white. Rough graphics. 0 bits. Is that a thing? But yeah, you just play that. You're playing as a wizard. Aliens are coming down. You're shooting them, and then every level you get to spec into randomly generated perks. Every 5 levels you get a super perk. So as you play, you're trying to make a build, and it's very much like Vampire Survivor, where these are the only 2 games I've ever seen this. Usually, you want to like build your build into what you like and just kind of like try to get any advantage you can. But if on these 2 games, if you stack the same thing over and over and over, you'll get a bonus to that one thing that's crazy. So if you just go crazy attack speed and only attack speed if you can, because you're always limited by what random options come up, but you'll get the attack speed modifier or something, and it's like a laser beam. Basically, you're shooting so fast that you have a laser beam now. Or if you get the lightning strike one, right? So just lightning just comes down from the sky randomly. If you get enough lightning strikes, you'll get to this bonus that's just like lightning strikes do 3 times more damage. So yes, there's an advantage to building whatever you want to try to achieve the game, but these 2 games, and I think it's kind of growing now in roguelikes, is they're forcing you to stack so that you can get this massive bonus. So it's interesting. Like, what do? You want to keep, you want to do what's best for your character, like 10% more health, but also you want to get to this bonus. So it's pulling you in 2 different directions. It's not obvious what the answer of what perk you should get anymore is. Ray played it one time last night. I had like 15 people here last night, yeah, he had a good time. It's just fun. It's $1, guys. Fucking buy it. Yeah, support this guy.
I don't know, $1. If it were 90 cents, that'd be one thing. But $1, I'm afraid I'm out. All right, I played one game this week. Well, aside from Project Zomboid. Bloons TD 6. So I had never played one of these games, and I had always heard that they were really good, and the reviews, if you look on Steam, are really, really high.
Well, obviously you've played Tower Defense. You just haven't
Yes.
played the Bloons games.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the
Okay.
Bloons games.
And just to put people where I'm at, like, I like and love Tower Defense and never got the Bloons games. Like, I don't get them. So
I never even really knew about them for a long time, but then I just kind of, maybe I Googled like best tower defense games or something like that.
Yeah,
or
it's
I saw
always
somebody
way up
else.
there.
Yeah, it's always like at the top. Like people love this game. And yeah, it's pretty good. It was on sale. It might still be. I bought it for like $3. So yeah, had to check it out. This is the latest in the Bloons series. And it's kind of different from what I'm used to with tower defense where, you save up money, you build out your map, and each map is a little different. This is way more fast-paced. Like they say, okay, you're going to get 40, 60, or 80 waves. They're going to go quick. Like there's a normal speed and a fast speed, and like you just use the fast speed, and it's just like if you're going to win, you're going to win. You don't really need. There's not a lot of player interaction required. It's almost like an idle game. Now you can get different units that do require player interaction and play it that way. But if you go online, there's like strategies on YouTube, like, these are the synergies between these characters. They have a hero character, which I think is really cool. So you like plant a character and they just keep leveling up. But as
you can move them around usually, right?
No. Well, I think
no.
you can't move them around. I mean, maybe one has an ability that you can. But the other items that you get are they're monkeys, by the way, that are popping balloons. That's what the game is. But the other monkeys that you can get, you can level them up.
I didn't get that. One more time. It's
The
monkeys popping balloons.
These are not towers. These are monkeys that are popping balloons. And every time a balloon pops, it just goes pop, pop, pop. So you're just like, pop, 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 like throughout the entire game. Like it's like this little addictive sound. But you upgrade the monkeys as well. So you can place like different types of monkeys and like, I want to upgrade him in these ways, like give him more attack speed with this one, like longer range, all sorts of weird stuff. And you can find the synergies within them. But it is such a fast-paced game that it really feels like right away you're just trying to min-max everything. Like you're just trying to crack the code, not necessarily like be in the moment playing. So it was kind of different from what I was used to. And at first it was kind of a turnoff. That and the fact that they really shove the microtransactions down your throat. At every point in this game, it says, well, you could level up or just click this link right here and buy it for $9.99. Like everywhere you turn, they're trying to get you to
That
just...
sucks. Because I got this for 99 cents, dude, on one of the big sales.
Yeah. It was really cheap at
So
one
now
point.
I know why.
Yeah, and the game is normally $10, and I got it for $3, which is a good deal. But yeah, just at every turn and it's the worst type of microtransaction where they say, instead of spending time playing the game, why don't you pay us so you don't have to spend time playing our game? It's like, well, shouldn't your game just be fun so I enjoy playing it? Like, why am I paying money not to play your game? This is ridiculous. So I don't know. I'm like I'm a little on the fence about it. Like, I am really enjoying it, but I'm also like, I'm either going to really get into this and not spend a dime, or I just got to leave it alone. Like, I got to draw a line here, make a decision and go one direction. But so I don't know. I see why it's very highly rated. I totally get that, but not a fan of the microtransactions. Yes. We all remember One Direction. Oh boy. If you're not watching the live stream, folks, you're missing out here.
That's right. You can find us on Twitch for the live stream.
Surprisingly,
I
a lot
love
of
how you
visual
didn't
jokes for
include
a
Harry
podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. So Bloons TD6. Not sure what the TD stands for.
Tower defense.
Okay.
Mm.
That makes complete sense. It's not touchdown, you're telling me?
It's
It's not Bloons touchdown 6.
I thought
Touchdown!
was that a joke, just to be clear? Or yeah, it was. Okay, great.
Dead serious, dude. Did not realize. You know what? This reminds me, like maybe 5 years ago, I'm driving to work and it hits me. Sister Act 2, back in the habit. The habit, like nuns wear. Never got it, dude.
Oh, jeez.
This is just like this. This is
Yeah,
just like
this, dude. Didn't realize that till like 2018. When did that movie come out? And it just hit me, dude. Driving to work one day. Light bulb.
Dude, you know,
Takes me a
you know
while
what's
to pick
funny
up
is-
on some things.
there was so many things, like religious things, that I've never learned the name for, like a nun's habit. I learned it all of it from Binding of Isaac, which is a game that completely makes a joke of religion.
Mm-hmm.
And when we would pick up the little nun's habit, I'm like, dude, that's what it's called. There's a bunch of other things that are in there, but
Habit's one of the best items in the game, by the way.
yeah, no, it's insane. But yeah,
All right. So that was my week. Bloons TD6. What do you guys got?
I picked up and played Rogue Legacy 2. It's a lot of what the original had plus more. They just kind of threw a ton of shit at this and seeing what sticks, I guess. Almost like a intimidating amount. Just like not only is it strength and health, you also have to worry about your weight capacity, and you have to think about your will. It's not will, but basically it's will. Like how much magical shit you can carry. So you have a limit on that, like how much willpower you have to carry all these magical items. And on top of that, there's classes and classes and classes. There's like, in the first 20 minutes of playing, I unlocked like 3 classes. So then I was up to 5. Now I've got like 2 more. That's probably 7. And there's still more that I can see the family tree growing out. But it sounds like a complaint, but I'm having a really good time with this. It's perfect for the Steam Deck. I'm having a great time. I don't even play it at home, even though I'm liking it. I'm playing it exclusively on the Steam Deck. So that's good. We talked about it last week where your lineage, which every time you die, it's your heir that takes over, right? And then you're going up against this like eternal dungeon that keeps changing every time somebody goes over there. So your family versus this like dungeon that doesn't age and just keeps changing. And you get some bad shit sometimes. These like defects in the family tree. And there's some original ones. Like there's one called Diva, where there's just a spotlight on you and you can't see anything around you. I don't remember if this is how the first one was, but pretty much the worse the side effect is, the more gold bonus you get. So like every time you die, you get to pick from 3 heirs. And then you even get to see like what the defects are and what their special ability is. And sometimes you might be like, I'm just going to go on a gold rush. like I'm just gonna make as much gold as I want because I need some gold. So you'll pick the worst character there because they have like a gold multiplier of 3 times. You might, and that might be like instead of food healing you, food attacks you like an animal. I think that's a vegetarian. So if you're a vegetarian, like pieces of meat that would regularly heal you would jump out of their cage and come and try to eat you. So you can't heal up basically. So there's stuff like that, but generally, it's a good like action platformer. I like it a lot. It almost seems over like it's so fucking hard, you know. But as you start leveling up and you get your damage up and you get your hit points up, it starts to level out. But as soon as that it levels out, you unlock a new area and you're all over at the beginning. So welcome to roguelikes, right? But yeah, I'm having a good time with this, especially on the Steam Deck. This is like my go-to Steam Deck game right now, for sure. Yeah.
Wow, it does really seem like a perfect Steam Deck game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember last week I was talking about like ender lilies. Your character's so small in that you can't really see the intricacies of like what the enemy's doing. You can't see what your character's doing. This is like nice, big, robust character, and yeah, that's why generally you can just see everything.
Oh,
God, we're getting old, Bobby. Like visualization is now like how much I can see is now like.
Yeah,
It's
they need
fun
to
fact-
account for that in video games. You know, they got stuff for colorblind people and all sorts of
Not
accommodations.
old people.
Yeah, they don't have anything for old people.
None of you fucking oldies. Speaking of perfect games for the Steam Deck, I played a lot of For the King for the 2 weeks that I was
For the
week I was
King.
gone.
For the
For the
king.
King.
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
You can't play the game without saying that, obviously. Man, so me, Leslie, and our friend Belle, we all finished the last story-based campaign. Now there's 2 more. There's one where the game generates 5 random dungeons in a fully random environment with like random enemies, and you have to beat all 5 dungeons. And there's a timer, but there's no like active quest to be doing like in the other ones. And goddamn, is it fucking hard, dude?
Wait, Nick,
It is-
when does that generate? When you beat the other, or
No, it's already there.
It's always there.
so. Yeah, it's one of the free campaigns.
Oh, okay.
And man, dude, it is hard because you don't have constant fights and constant objectives because of the main story. You don't have like a constant flow of XP. So you're you're always fighting things that are above your level, or you're fighting things that you're like already beat up because you don't have money to heal. And it's a different game. The other mode is a game where you're just in an infinite dungeon. And everything's randomly generated as well, I believe. And it involves like constantly like going through dungeon floors and dungeons, and you have to deal with like the things that are generated inside of dungeons. So like you would be like, oh, that's not really the main game. The main game is about going around and doing quests and stuff. Well, inside the dungeon, I mean, another thought is like you wouldn't be able to buy anything inside the dungeon because you're in a dungeon. Well, there are mobs that spawn in the dungeon where that are vendors. There's also like healing fountains and all these other things. So it's definitely a game mode that I'm being like optimistic to play, but we haven't played it yet. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
If it's all random, maybe, I mean, it's possible you could have an easy run, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And you know, that's the one thing that happened on our run involving like the ice campaign where you fight like a giant dragon at the end. Me and Leslie both got completely overpowered weapons.
Early
And then in
on.
the last campaign, we got an orb, but it wasn't just a normal orb; it was a greater orb, and it made the last fight almost trivial. So, and like I said, it's all random. So, yeah, the game's still obviously a hit. Like, there's no real, you know, loss when it comes to those game modes. It's really what you want to play. The game is really interesting on how you unlock stuff because there's like a general amount of things that you can unlock, and the way you unlock them is by getting lore books. And the way you get lore books is by playing the campaigns and doing things inside the campaigns like dungeons and stuff. And so you will, for example, like certain weapons will only appear if you beat the game with a certain class or certain to be able to be unlocked in the lore store. And the same thing with like other events. Like it may be like, oh, pick up a certain amount of these sanctums, and then the greater version of that sanctum will be able to be unlocked in the lore store. And so there's always something to do in this game, especially if you're doing that. And the game does penalize you for playing on an easier difficulty. You only get 60% of the lore books that you would normally be getting from playing on normal, and then you get a bonus for playing on hard.
Damn, this game keeps fucking delivering, man.
Dude, what's so weird about this game, and I mentioned that last time I mentioned the game, is that there's no fucking like YouTube videos or Let's Plays or anything for this game, like guides kind of. And the interesting is that like the only thing that is out there is a guide on how to beat the game on the hardest difficulty. But the thing is, like, that came out 1.5 years ago, and there's a lot of shit that doesn't apply anymore.
It's like playing a game in the 90s.
Maybe it's time for you, Nick. Maybe it's time for you to make one.
There's like no active players for this game, dude. I'm not making shit.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
For the king.
For the king.
I played a Peglin. So I talked about it last week where I played it a little bit. It's kind of a mix of a bunch of weird genres.
Is it Peglin or Peglin?
Probably Peglin.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're hitting pegs. Yep, you're right.
Okay. I was going to say.
So, yeah, it's like Peggle mixed with like, I don't know, like a light story based RPG, where you level things up, and a little bit of Slay the Spire in there. Actually, a lot of Slay the Spire. So, what directions you're going, what you're going to get from that direction, stuff like that. All comes from what course you're going to change, and like, is it time to fight the boss, or should I go try to get some treasure? That whole thing, like choose your own adventure type thing going on. Yeah, man. As I was playing this, definitely was not digging the Peggle aspect of it. The graphics aren't very good. Like Peggle came out 15 years ago and has better graphics in this game. I get it. You're a small developer. I'm hoping, but it's like you're just making pegs and a ball. Like
I think it's like a stylistic choice.
I hope so. I didn't. If it was, I'm not a big fan. I did like the Slay the Spire part of it. Building your trinkets, or what are they called? In Slay the Spire, those things that affect the game permanently, and artifacts or whatever.
I can't even remember.
Yeah.
I think they might be called artifacts.
Yeah, artifacts. They have them in this game too. And as I was collecting them, it changed the game, and I was enjoying that. And basically, I was enjoying all the Slay of the Spire part of it, and none of the ball bouncing part of it. I'm like, I think I'm gonna take a pass on this one. So, yeah, and I like everything. So there you go.
Well, speaking about making passes and sending passes to your teammate, due to the other game that you play a lot of is Rocket League, right?
Tons of Rocket League.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I started playing a couple years ago. And the reason I keep playing is because you're either good at the game or you're bad. And the only way to get good is to keep playing. It's a game that's entirely based on skill.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen or heard of anybody hacking or anything like that. And it's learning the game. It's muscle memory. It's fun. It's a challenge, and there's a constant scale of difficulty. And like this season, I'm finally about to break into the champ rank.
How many rank, or where is the champ rank on the ranks?
So there's like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, champ, grand champ, and then supersonic legend.
Okay.
So like champ is beyond what I ever thought I would do.
Yeah.
But I'm so close. And
Oh, that's so exciting, dude.
me and Jeffrey have been like, we've got to a point where like we don't have team comms. We know. We know who's going to be where. We know our rotation, and so there'll be some late nights where we're grinding out rank, and it's just it gets real quiet. It was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shh, we're playing Rocket League."
Yeah. Damn, dude.
They take it very seriously. Yes.
It's a blast. Trying to get more people to play it, and yeah, it's fun, man.
How
Nobody's
many hours
ever.
a week to go pro?
You have to go pro. How many hours a week you think?
I have too much work to do. There's no chance. It's probably a full-time job to really be a pro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, either that or be a high school student. I mean, that's also a pretty good way to go pro. A lot of the kids who are pro in this game are like 15 years old.
That's a good point, though. Like, nobody's ever complained about cheaters on this game because it would be too hard. Like, how do you program that? Like, yeah.
It would be incredibly blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that like this is a game that honestly, I could envision somebody cheating on this game not having fun doing it. You're not like the games are so short that you're not really ruining anybody else's day, which is a big motivation I think for cheating.
Yeah.
And it's more fun to get good at the game than it is to cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus, like we were talking about with Tarkov, if there's a financial incentive for cheating or hacking, then a lot more
Right.
people will do it. I mean, a lot of people will do it just to be an asshole, but not as many as if
It was
there's money
financial.
involved.
Yeah, if I can make
okay.
$5 off of it, yeah.
How have over the years, I probably haven't looked at this for 3 years, 2-3 years. How have the aesthetic, like, not the graphics, but I mean, how have the, I don't know, tie-ins and like, I remember there's like a Ghostbuster car, stuff like that. Like, have they kept up with that shit?
They have actually.
Yeah.
I play a Formula One car.
Yeah.
That's my new car of choice. And everybody tells me that I should change cars, but I tell them no. But that's part of the fun in Rocket
Which
League.
F1?
I use Haas. I'm a big
Oh,
Haas
shit,
fan,
yeah.
even though we're actually doing good
Yeah.
this year, like better than I thought. So
Dude, that Netflix show is so good.
that's what got me hooked on.
Me
it,
too.
Really. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I started watching it at work one day. It was just
Yeah.
from then on, and that's actually when I changed my car. I was like, you know what? It's $11. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, man. We've never said a bad word about this game. Other than it's hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard.
There's a learning curve, especially if you don't use a controller like me.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to QuakeCon the year that this came out, and it was just everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it was just insane. Took the world by storm. But I know there was some people were upset when they went exclusively to Epic, and I think they did some loot box thing. But I don't know. I don't think that ruffled too
They
many
left
feathers.
Steam?
No, yeah. So Epic bought Rocket League, bought Psyonix.
Oh.
And everybody was kind of happy at first because Psyonix was traditionally known for having terrible servers. And so they're like, finally, somebody who knows how to run servers
Right.
in Epic,
Yeah.
which it kind of improved.
Uh-huh.
But they made a lot of changes that I think initially really upset people. Like they made away some playlist changes. Like it used to be you could queue up as yourself in a game of threes and you could know that nobody else was on the team. They were all individual queue players.
Okay.
So that made threes more random and more balanced.
Right.
Then you go in with two randoms and the other is a pre-made team, And that's the only way you can do it now. So those changes really upset people. But,
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that, the game's gotten more stable. The content's gotten better and more frequent. So, I'm a fan.
Cool. Overall, you're a fan of the move.
Yeah, I think in the
Interesting.
long run it did better. They made some really positive changes. The servers have gotten better.
I've got to imagine it hit their bottom line, or at least it hit their player base numbers. I have to imagine. I don't know though.
Well, I think that might be why they dragged it to free to play too.
Right.
Because I paid for the $20 for the game like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and now it's free to play. And the player base shot through the roof.
Here's
But
the question: have you gotten your $20 worth?
from the game, no. From my friends while playing the game, absolutely.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
dude.
usually how it comes with these games. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
this game went from like fun haha party game to like super serious MLG game in a lot of ways. Like when people started figuring out you can do flips with certain cars in certain directions and shit. the game got super serious. So
Oh yeah. It's
What's the mode where everyone has a superpower?
Rumble?
Rumble.
ain't heard
I
of
go
that.
to I go to parties where people are playing Rumble mode, and I can't pick up the controller. I'm like, no, this isn't how you play the fucking game. Okay, this is a serious fucking game.
Yeah, Rumble's is an interesting mode. You run around with like weird power ups, and it'll let you like spike your car to the puck or the ball, so you can just drive your car into the goal to score, or like a magnet or stuff like that. It's fun, but it's random, and sometimes it just really doesn't want you to win.
Speaking of a serious game, game of the week was Project Zomboid. What did you guys think of it?
Not a fan.
I'm with you, Bobby.
It feels like what it is, a 10-year-old game. It really, so I played this game around the time it came out, or maybe shortly thereafter, and it really took me back to the gaming landscape of the early 2010s. And oh boy, man. I mean, there were some cool things like all the roguelikes, but I felt like there was this prevailing attitude in gaming back then of just like really, well, at least in PC gaming, just being really difficult. Not even just the game itself, but like this is kind of around the time with DayZ when it was a mod, and like getting it to run was just this very complicated process that just took a lot of time. And then when you finally got it to run, it's just like, okay, you're in this world that you don't even know what you're doing. You just kind of wander around, and that's the game, and it just, I don't know. It was just so, I don't know. I guess unfocused. I don't know what word I'm looking for here. But yeah, it brought up a lot of feelings and memories for me. It was really hard to find a good game to get into until we started joining private or dedicated servers that had a bunch of mods installed, and then like it almost kind of pushed us forward a little bit, because I think you're supposed to start out the game with like nothing, and you have to be really careful. If you wake up any zombies, like you just run, and if you can't outrun them, you're dead. But when we joined these other servers, it was almost like we had a head start. We got to start with a lot more gear. There weren't as many zombies, and then the game became a little more enjoyable. But I don't know. Overall, not too interested.
Days?
I loved and hated this game at the same time. I liked the concept of it being incredibly realistic, and so I, of course, in that fashion, had to make me. I made a out of shape, perfect for a zombie apocalypse. Out of shape, depressed, frightens easily. So the pinnacle of survival. And
Did
So hold
you
on.
just step out of the house and just die?
I lasted 11 minutes.
That's not bad. Honestly.
That's actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
good.
the entire time, I thought I was going to have a heart attack in real life. So I said, fuck this game.
But question though,
Yeah.
like every time you give yourself a negative trait, you can give yourself a positive trait of equal or lesser value, right? So did you give yourself
I think
like,
so, yeah. I think
awesome podcaster? Like
yeah, like funny. Obviously, she's Evangelista. Wonderful, amazing. Like clearly humble and confident. Yeah. So,
great
no.
maple syrup. By the way, my
Yeah.
family's raving about that stuff.
yeah, it's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm sorry. I am giving you yours. Bobby. Sorry.
I don't see how that helps you in a zombie apocalypse,
No,
though.
no,
Just
it
slow
did
them down,
not.
maybe.
Yeah, it did not.
Molasses.
I think I did select something of like being somewhat more science or medical driven to kind of reflect my job and stuff, dude. But yeah, I loved that it was really focused on like true survival. It was tough. I actually really like the aesthetic of it. It's like Sims to me. I thought it was cool how you could build things and craft stuff and drive around in a car, but and like the little details of like if you are running away from a zombie and you're going through the woods trying to hide them, after a while you start accumulating cuts and bruises, which is what you would have if you were running through the woods. And so I loved those little realistic details like that. But holy shit, what a game of inducing anxiety. If you need to raise your stress levels in your life, because everybody totally does, we need more stress, right? Play this game. It will make you very stressed out the whole fucking time, or at least it did for me. And I was like, nope, I can't play this game, dude. A, I need to sleep, and B, I don't need to be stressed. Like,
So I gotta disagree with you guys. I mean, agree with certain points, but As I was playing this game, I was like, man, there's something I'm not getting here because, like, it's way too hard. So I posted a beginner's guide. One of the best, very first thing as soon as you spawn, push C, and it makes you crouch, and the zombies can't see you through the windows.
Yeah.
And you get to loot the entire house in peace. Do you know how? This is
maybe.
a boon. This is a boon for all survivors, guys.
But I mean, I think it depends on
Well, you can
how
also-
you spawn too, right?
Yeah, but you can also close.
Yeah,
the
you can literally
blinds.
spawn in
Yeah.
jail. By the way,
But even Bobby, even if you're walking up to the blinds, they that sound effect, that fucking.
I hated that shit.
Oh, that
Oh
sound
my
effect.
god, I screamed like a little bitch when I was running through the woods trying to get rid of 20 zombies, and all of a sudden it's just like, "Meep," and there's a zombie
Yeah.
right in front of me, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, fuck this.
Yeah. So I watched that video, and then I saw my survival times drastically increase, and the fun that I was having drastically increase. And I'm not trying to make the perfect character like the police officer that has no fear, and I hit random every time, which makes it harder, obviously. But fuck it, why not? Right? I'm gonna
that's what
die
I was
anyway.
doing.
Yeah, I'm having more and more fun as I learn how to combat the zombies. I'm able to take 2 or 3 of them on at a time, and that's a good amount. That's on the upper end of what you're going to see, unless you've really fucked up. So and if I'm wearing a leather jacket, they can't get through the fucking leather jacket a lot of the times. So I just end up with minor abrasions or whatever, and you can patch that up pretty easily. But if you get deep cuts, this is what I learned. I kept fucking. I followed the guide. You go upstairs, you rip up all the sheets. You fill a backpack full of fucking sheets. That way, you always have bandages. Blah blah blah. And then I had deep cuts that were infected, so I would wrap it up, and it would feel good. I'd take 2 steps, and then my bandages were dirty, and I'd have to take it off and re-bandage it. And I did that probably 30 times. You just can't. You need medicine. You need antibiotics to get through that. And but it's a learning experience. At the very beginning of the game, it tells you this is the way you died. There's no winning this game. It's how long can you live before you die, right? That's all it is.
Yeah, I hate those games. Those are the worst. Those are the worst games for me.
I enjoyed it because my time is getting more. It's getting longer as I learn, and it's a learning experience. But there are limits.
That success in this game is taking longer to fail.
Yeah, exactly. But there are limits too. There was a point where I was like, I'm so stressed out. I can't. I just can't. I'm not having fun at this point because all I'm doing, it's at those last moments where all my limbs are bandaged. I'm bleeding out. I'm bleeding to paper, but I'm not dead. And you can't quit. You can't kill your character, guys. As far as I know, you can't. You have to watch him die by being eaten before you can start a new game. It's fucking
Savage.
ruthless.
Yeah.
It's so savage. You need to. You quit out. You're like, fuck this game, fuck this run. I'm gonna start a new run. Guess what? Your options are continue or load old save game. That's it. And I don't have any save games, so I had to continue. Guess what I hear as soon as I load it? They're all over me, and I'm trying to push them off. It's brutal. They want you to know that this is what happens, and you're supposed to learn off of how you're being in and all this shit. It's hard to say that it's all of this. There's some pleasure somewhere in this, but there is. There's the I'm getting better because I'm learning, and every time I go, I'm learning a little more. Another weird thing that I didn't know until this last time that I played last night was every character that you make spawns in the world that their previous character was in.
You see yourself as a zombie walking around.
Yeah, and all the
Oh,
stuff
that's
that you had
cool.
looted is already looted. You can't go to the same. You go to the same house, and you're like, "Oh, this looks oddly familiar." Yeah, it's the same house, and it's the same loot, and all that. So you can kill your former self and get all your shit back. Nick,
So that's actually a thing that like quote unquote professional players do, or like very experienced players do, is like if they know that they've gotten like something that's going to kill them over time, they'll intentionally kill themselves and then get back to that spot and get all their shit. Dude, I had a lot of fun playing this game. It is not a game that you can sell to people easily.
No.
Leslie was getting really mad when we were playing this game. She's like, all we do is fucking run and get eaten. And I'm like, yeah, like unfortunately. And then we realized we were playing on the harder difficulty. But like this game,
Oh yeah,
I like it a lot.
Sorry to cut you in. There's 4 cities you can start in, and they're in descending order of difficulty. Like the first one, I think the first one has like the least population, and so you get to actually move around. If you go to the last one, it's just like there's zombies everywhere. Is that what you were talking about, Nick?
Yeah. So by the way, there's also like what is it called? There's also scenarios. Like there's this one where there's a mist that engulfs the whole city and then engulfs everything, and it makes it like super ultra difficult mode. And the thing is, like, the zombies can't see through it either, so you like literally run into zombies all the time. There's like another one where it's like you have to survive through the winter, and winter arrives in 3 days. So I think there's a reduced amount of zombies, but winter's a bitch because like you can't just light a fire, else all the zombies are going to come towards you. Like all the scenarios are really fun. The furthest I got was 3.5 days alive. And that's because me and the guy that we were playing, like me and my buddy Brett, like we never stopped moving. As weird as it sounds. So like we would get stuff like loaded up and then just keep moving. And if we needed a rest, we would like clear out a house and put up curtains and everything, and eventually just, chill in there. But we never got to the phase of the game that a lot of people talk about, which is like, where you're farming and you're building stuff and you're gathering water, you're like constantly doing carpentry, you're like fixing a car, like all these other things. So a lot of people, this is one of those games that like a lot of people say on the subreddit, like you have to play with mods. Or there's no shame in cheating. Like, for example, when you're playing multiplayer, there's no shame in just teleporting your friends to you. It's the reason why it's in the game. Like, if you both spawn in, like, Maldro, you'll be, like, you can possibly be 30, 40 miles away from each other, which takes forever to run. So that's why it's in the game, is so that you can...
Yeah, we figured that out pretty quickly, that we could just teleport to each other.
Didn't help.
No.
At the time.
No, it didn't. But we were just playing... when you play, like, your own game, you have to host your own server and then somebody joins you, which is kind of weird. But when we started joining other servers, they just had the mods ready to go and they automatically loaded. There were a lot of them, though. There were some with like 80 mods, so you'd have to sit there and wait for all of them to load. But once we did that, it was a much more enjoyable experience. And yeah, they kind of put you further into the game where things start to get a little more fun. I can't imagine playing this game vanilla.
After that game, Bobby, I just been playing vanilla nonstop, and yeah, I'm having a good time. There are some mods that like I definitely appreciated. There was like, things that would show you your health without you having to click on how I'm doing and stuff, and just like
some UI stuff.
Yeah, and I would enjoy all those. I just didn't know which ones they were of the 120 mods that we did download it. So yeah, I've been playing vanilla and having a good time. I don't know. I guess if I'm feeling really shitty about myself and I want to feel even worse, I'll come play this game some more. And that's not a knock on it. I really think that there's quality here, and its success shows that is. If you want to really, you playing Souls-like, you think it's the hardest shit, come play some Project Zomboid. See how that goes. It's a game designed to not be able to let you live. Apparently, day 11, if you make it to, there's a helicopter event, and the helicopter just hovers above you and draws a horde to you, and you have to deal with that.
Yeah, there's a whole horde mechanic, dude. Like, you can watch just YouTube videos like day 100. Like, Like it's insane. Like people end up building these huge farms that they have to cultivate and like grow everything and like manage fertilizer and all this shit. It's like, how the fuck do you get to that point, dude? Because like when I played, all the zombies all the time were just constantly chasing me. But apparently what ends up happening is like you start clearing out all the zombies in the area and you get a little sense of peace. But like as days go by and as like zombies just begin to roam, you just get random hordes as well. And like I said, there's so many different ways to play this game and so many different ways to like excel or fail. So I for me, it's a recommend, especially if you got time to kill or people to play with. But if you want like constant first person shooter action, you're not going to get that. But you can play with like I think it's like 10 people. So
I'm not gonna say definite. It's a recommend, but it comes with some caveats. Like, do you like extremely hard games? That would be this. Do you not mind graphics? Because the graphics are kind of rough. But if you like realism and stuff like that, like this, you can work on every part of your car, every shock, everything can be replaced. You can take it to your car, to your but you have to learn mechanics first. So you have to find a book that's beginner mechanics. Guess how long it takes to read a fucking book? It's like 10 real world minutes. So you start reading
you
a book.
can. There's mods to like fast forward that, but like if you don't have those, like you're literally sitting in a room and your character's reading, and if you leave, you run the chance of like a zombie just seeing you somehow.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of shit.
But there's a fast reader perk, but which, you'd have to give yourself obesity in order to have, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
There's also people that play this game like a PvP game, and it's really interesting how they do it. Like I watched a YouTuber play 4v4, and they only were allowed to operate in one of the cities in like a certain part of the city, and they made it seem really fun. So, yeah.
Yeah. There's fun to be had. But so we got 2 nays and 2 yays.
Yeah.
I don't know. I appreciated it, just it's not for me. Like, it scared me too much. That's
Dude,
really all.
does this look like any... What do you think based on you've never seen this before? Or maybe you have?
This reminds me of something that I would have played when I was working at FedEx, when I could just like lose like 5 hours and just dive into something.
Yeah.
I like those frustrating games that like, no, you're not supposed to win this. It's not for you to win.
Right.
Like it's for you to lose and get mad, And I enjoy that challenge. So I don't know. I think I'm interested in this. This actually looks pretty fun.
I think it's been $20 for like 15 years. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go either way. But yeah, dude, I think it's worth it, especially if you like the punishing games. It is so hard, dude. Literally, the first time you play it, you last like 45 seconds. And then the second time, it's like maybe a minute. And then you go back to 45 seconds. It's rough, dude.
I lasted 11 minutes my first
You did?
try,
That's
but-
fucking good.
She's like, 'cause
Didn't
I
even
made
crouch.
Yeah.
All right.
Crouch and shut
That's
the
our
blinds.
game of the week.
Well, before we move on to listener questions, let's give a quick shout out to some subs we've got this month. Recycled 45 months. He's got the
Goddamn.
record. And he says DLG is the shit.
Thanks,
And
man.
something was redacted on the end of that sentence. We'll never know. Also, Epic Tryhard Face, 30 months, not too bad. He says, I missed the intro. Who is the guest?
It's DuderMcBadass.
It's me.
Yeah, it's DuderMcBadass from
Welcome,
Austin,
welcome. Now you got to
Texas.
go back and listen to the show.
Yeah.
All right. And we've got Biblioclasm. That's tough to say. First-time subscriber. And he says, a game with all story and no gameplay is also known as a book.
Yep.
It's not wrong.
And I like to read.
He's actually a new person on the Discord who has been mega active ever since joining, and he's a pretty cool guy to talk to.
All right. Glad to hear people are jumping on the Discord.
As you should be.
Also, Lasagna McGillicuddy. First time also. Love you all. You've turned me on to a lot of great games, and you are slowly draining my funds. Yep, that'll happen, man.
Love to do it.
Yep.
That'll happen. And I've also seen him on the Discord too. So it's great. The Discord is honestly better than the podcast, folks. Hate to
The
say it.
community. Yeah, the community
it's
is really
really it,
amazing. We've got a great chunk of people, and yeah, if you're still listening and you haven't joined yet, you definitely should, need to, and won't regret joining. Which you can find our Discord link through dlgaming.net again.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
So I'm actually going to head out before we do listener questions. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Duder.
Yeah.
I'll be back next week, obviously, but I do have to head out a little bit early today. Appreciate you guys.
Nick.
See you.
Well, we will catch you next week.
Mm-hmm.
And he just hopped right off. Okay. I'm fixing the stream here. Sniper, we can all see your arm. Just letting you know.
Nice, dude. I've been working out so much. It's
Yeah,
going
I
to
can
get only
see,
bigger
dude.
from here.
It's triceps.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah. They're
Working
huge,
on
dude.
that
I'm like a
punch,
pterodactyl walking around out there.
All right. Listener questions. We've got a lot of them. So keep that in mind when answering. Let's keep it kind of quick here. But we're going to get to all of them. We never push any back to the next week.
We only
So-
forget them. That's
Yeah.
all.
Occasionally we'll forget them. But like
Occasionally.
last week, we didn't really have any. We had very few. And this week, it looks like everyone made up for that. So let's start it off. First one coming from D. White Dynamite. What are good co-op games for the Steam Deck on PC or PC? Specifically, 2-player FPS would be cool. My little bro and I were going to try some Far Cry New Dawn or even Fear 3 again.
I'm not sure, dude. Do you mean like you're both on Steam Decks or one of you is on Steam Decks? I can't really answer this too much because I don't play I don't expect much out of my Steam Deck. I don't push it very hard. I don't try playing like Dying Light 2. I don't try playing stuff like that. I just play a bunch of indie titles on my giant Nintendo Switch. I find it like a super powerful Nintendo Switch is how I consider. And I'm not saying that I'm doing it right. I'm just saying that that's what I do. I rather have a fantastic Binding of Isaac run than a subpar or limited Dying Light or Counter-Strike run. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This isn't to do with the question, but I have your library on my Steam, Emilio, and I'm playing Hades from your library. I've been playing a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I noticed when you're on your Steam Deck playing a game, I can still play any game in your library.
Oh, that's sweet, dude.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm playing a shitload of Hades. You'll pop on and you'll be playing your stuff. I'll be like, hey, and then you'll pop off and I'll still be on my run. It's great. So
Wow. Don't
does
tell
anyone
Steam.
Yeah.
They might patch that.
It's just our secret, guys. Don't tell anyone.
So,
DLG bump.
arguably, could you play one version of a 2-player? Like, could you both be playing Battlefield at the same time on one account? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Maybe,
Play
right?
the same game
Maybe.
Yeah.
on one account.
Is this your first roguelike that you've enjoyed, Chris?
No, I liked Synthetic too before that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm trying to beat it. I'm sinking the hours in. You know, I've escaped. I'm looking at the achievements on the side. I'm like, ooh, it would be really nice to see 100% there. So, and I never not have a good time. You know. So,
Yeah, it's fucking, man, one of the best roguelikes ever.
You know, I
I-
never played Fear 3. It's interesting that you should mention that game. I finished the second one like a couple years ago just to finish it, and I've always meant to play Fear 3. Maybe I'll check that out again.
I feel like a good co-op game for the deck, like with first-person shooter elements, would be any of the Borderlands games, would they not?
Yeah, I would guess so.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be fun.
Maybe I should do my due diligence and fucking play fucking first-person shooters on my deck so I would know. But
That sounds
I
like
can't.
a great suggestion.
What's the game? God, I should know the name of it because I like it so much. But the one where you play the cat and you go through, you go through all the levels. It's a roguelike first-person shooter.
As a cat?
Well, there's different
yeah.
characters.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. No, that's the other one I like, but I always forget it's a roguelike. Oh, you guys know what it is. Fuck.
Yeah. I put so many hours into it. I play it like every now
Gunfire
and then.
Reborn?
Gunfire Reborn. Oh,
Gunfire
yeah.
Reborn.
Yeah.
There's my suggestion. But there's another game that Emilio, you said was better than that, or you like
I
more than that.
like RoboQuest. which is like
And I
a
haven't
spin
played
on
that
that
yet.
one. Yeah.
What about you, Duder? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm a diehard Counter-Strike fan. So, I mean, I always think that you should always try and get somebody to play Counter-Strike with you. It's been around forever. It's classic.
Fuck yeah,
And,
it is.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't get enough Counter-Strike talk on the
Duder likes
podcast.
Duder likes hard fucking games for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Prince of Persia, the classic one.
Yeah.
I remember playing that on Amber Monochrome.
So, saying that, have you got into Souls likes like
Dark Souls.
Dark
those
Souls?
games
And,
like
yeah,
that. So, yes and no.
yeah.
I've come to the realization that I actually like watching people play those and watching them fail or succeed
Yeah.
than doing it myself, because there'll be times I'm like, I have to take a breather sometimes from those, like especially Dark Souls. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's just constant, just get your ass kicked over and over and over from the same person nonstop, and it's like I spent more time in the loading screen to fight you than I have been fighting you.
Dude, I saw a video of somebody playing Elden Ring, and the style and grace this dude had killing this thing, just like you, exuberating confidence, just like walking right up, dodging, just out of the way, just moving the shoulders just in time, and just like taking the slide. It was art. It was art watching this person play. It was just like, wow, that's so impressive. Not me though. I don't have 10,000 hours, man. I do, but I put them into a crying baby that shoots poops.
Cool. All right, a few questions from Zap here. Stardew Valley just hit 20 million copies sold. About 6 of those are mine. What indie game do you think deserved similar success but failed to get it? That's a lot of success.
It is a lot of success. Ape Out. Ape Out?
Mhm.
Is that right? Yeah.
Ape Out, yeah.
I fucking, man, did I love that game. I wanted to give it Game of the Year. I brought it up. I
That's a cool
fought
game.
for it. I thought the music, the combination of the movements with the sound is like every time you slap somebody, it's like a hi-hat. Psh, pow, every time we walk in, it's like it's jazz, and the look of it, I've never seen that perspective. It's like a zoomed out, but oh man, crazy game, man. And I loved it, and I played it 2 days straight. Yeah, I think, and I've never heard anybody else say like that was a great game. Except for Days.
I mean, I like the way that it was designed. I think it's a game that you play it a few times and then I don't know. To me, I'd get bored.
It was a very short game, though.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
a
very
short- Yeah, I
short, and
finished
it
it.
was kind of like a one-note type of game. Like this is, but they did that very well.
Like people spend years playing Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Like, would you be spending years playing Ape Out? I mean, I think that it was a really well made and really fascinating game, but I don't know. Then again, to me, like an indie game that I think deserved a lot more success than what it got, because I do feel like Stardew Valley is just honestly a unique situation, and I'm not sure if any other indie game could hit a story like what Stardew Valley had, because Stardew Valley replaced like a niche that everybody was dying for with Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
So like it really presented at like the right opportunity, and only like really rare games get that kind of a chance. But to me, I think the game that deserved more success than what I got is Spiritfarer. I loved that game, and I thought that game did such a beautiful job of exploring and going through grief and really growing to appreciate and grow close with the things and the people and the stuff around you, and then also learning to let it go, you know? It was I thought it's such a beautiful and amazing game.
Chris,
I
can
loved
you
that game.
can you bring up Spiritfarer just so I can have a visual? I'm pretty sure I know.
I think that game was very well reviewed and maybe got some critical acclaim, but yeah, I don't think it sold a ton of copies.
Was this
One
of the first Microsoft indie games? Was that?
I'm not
No.
sure. It was like a management based game where like you have your ship and
Oh, okay.
you're finding spirits to like join you on your adventure, and then when the time is right, you have to say goodbye to them, and they leave
Aw.
and they cross over. Yeah, but like it's honestly a really beautiful game and done really, really well.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Rianne was playing this game beside me, and she cried a lot. And I was
Yeah.
like, I've never heard of this game. What is it? She's like, it's Spiritfarer. And I just looked it up. It won the Hugo Award for Best Video Game. So, like, yeah, critically it was well received, but I personally didn't hear about it before she played
That
it. So
sucks.
I
dude.
just
You-
think it needed more success. than
yeah,
it
that
got,
you
'cause,
make
yeah,
something
like,
really
it's-
fucking solid, and
that's
it
what I
doesn't
mean,
bring.
yeah.
It doesn't bring. That's
This is a
rough.
beautiful
You know what I
game,
mean?
especially on Nintendo Switch. I think it's perfect for Nintendo Switch, or this would be another good Steam Deck game for sure.
I'm sure they made their money back. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, they should be able to like be comfortable with the amount of money they made.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't know.
it's showing it's got like 17,000 reviews, so it sounds like they did sell a lot of copies. I'm sure they did
They-
okay.
Yeah, they probably did well. I just thought that they deserved to get much more recognition.
I
And
agree.
like,
Well,
yeah.
they announced December 2021 that they had sold 1 million copies.
Oh, there you
So
go.
They
Yeah, they're saying pretty.
someone bought
Still
it.
not enough.
It's not enough, dude. Because Stardew Valley just hit 20 million copies. So you know what, Spirit Fair, you can do another 19. What's DLG bump, bros, right?
Well, how long has it hasn't been out as long, so it's got time to catch up.
There we go.
I can't think of any games that I think like are deserving of Stardew Valley's success, but I mean, there's a few that I feel like those were good games, and I always try to remember them because nobody talks about them. Like one is 10 Second Ninja. You probably heard about that one. I think it did all right when it came out. There was a sequel, 10 Second Ninja X, but I thought that was just a great little game. You know, you have 10 seconds to beat a map. You're given a map and you got to beat it in 10 seconds, and they increase in difficulty. And they're very creative. It's very Super Meat Boy-ish. I just thought it was a great little game. Yeah, first one's pretty old now. Huh.
Fun fact: this is the game that I chose to keep on my family share from you, Bobby, so that
to
I-
lock that down.
to lock it down. Haven't played it,
Yeah,
but it's there.
yeah. And my game from your account is Round Guard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Have
and
you
if
tried
you're-
it?
Not yet, no. But what we're talking about is when you do Steam family sharing, for some reason it would always unshare the libraries. But we figured
Eventually.
out if you install a game from someone else's account, it will lock that account and you'll never lose access to their library. So Emilio and I both installed a game from each other's account that was really, really small.
Yeah.
And it just holds down the entire account. So 10 Second Ninja and Round Guard.
Both small, but mine's bigger than yours, dude.
Just by a little. But the other game is Hidden Folk, which is a Where's Waldo
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I love this game. I love this idea.
Wait, are you sure you got the name right?
Hidden Folks.
Hidden Folks.
Oh.
Hidden Folks, plural, I guess. Yeah, it's just a map, and it'll say, find a guy who's like eating ice cream or something. So you have to look around and you find him, and you find all these different things happening. And sometimes they tell you, the things they tell you to find are like little riddles, so you have to figure them out. But it's a
love
really
that.
fun game. I loved Where's Waldo books when I was a kid.
Me too.
You know,
These are
obsessed with-
animated, though.
Yeah,
It's
and these
not
are
a static
animated. People
picture.
are doing things in them.
Yeah.
And they give you several different things to find, which the later Where's Waldo books did. Maybe even the earlier ones. They would say like, yeah, you want to find Waldo, but see if you can find this guy who's wearing too many hats.
Oh yeah, in the back of there was like an index.
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
things to find,
exactly.
like a cue card.
Yeah,
like-
and of course, my parents probably still have my Where's Waldo books, and I ruined it. Like in marker, I like circled Waldo and stuff. So yeah, those are ruined. There's a Where's Waldo Nintendo game. Rented it at Blockbuster. Beat it. Soundtrack on the last level was great.
what wasn't it like? It was the art that you had already seen from the books, right?
No, it was new stuff.
Or was it new stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and I think
Either
you could
way,
even scroll.
I used to
too.
love those books so fucking much, dude. I would just go and look at all the individual people and see what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, had nothing to do with.
Yeah, I just feel like because they would put little jokes in there. You know, there'd be
Yeah.
like something funny happening between
Yeah.
two people. The one that's my absolute favorite was the Castle Siege.
Oh yeah.
That, I mean, it's a classic one. The
That's
castle getting
wizards, wizards and flying carpets. That
yeah,
one?
I think there was. I can't quite remember, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we
there
might
was
be
like
mixing them up.
yeah, and there's all these funny things happening. Yeah, God, the Castle Siege. Was
Mine was
classic Waldo.
my favorite one was they were playing some type of game that involved a ball, and there was 4 teams, but nobody knew the
Oh
rules.
yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
remember
it's,
that one.
some people were digging
Oh,
holes.
dude, I'm gonna look these all up, dude. This is like
Yeah.
Farsight books for me, man. I'm gonna go down memory lane. I think
Loved
Christian has got the song queued up. This is the ending theme from the Where's Waldo game. Oh, dude, this must have been it.
You said it was really good.
I don't know if it was the last level or when you beat the game, but it might have been. This might have been it. You like take off in a spaceship, if I remember. Yeah, it's moody. I love it. Yeah, I like it. This is probably it.
Is it our new?
moody.
Is it our new?
It sounds
intro?
like yeah, it sounds like our outro music.
Yeah.
I doubt the Where's Waldo people are gonna show up and sue us for
Oh
using
God,
that.
yeah.
Well, what about you, Duder? What indie game do you think deserves similar success but didn't get it?
I think probably my favorite indie game that I ever played that I don't know if a lot of people know about is Thomas Was Alone.
Oh, is that the one with
I've
the
heard of it.
squares?
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
oh my God, that game is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the soundtrack for it's amazing. The game itself is really good.
Show me, Christian. Show me.
I played a lot of it.
I played this game on mobile, which I rarely do. But what's so amazing about this game is you have these characters like a square, a rectangle. They're just shapes, and yet they have so much character in this game. This story that it's a puzzle game. It's like a platformer puzzle game. But you know this you need the square to get into this area or the rectangle to get into this area. This is a really good game. Good pick.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite games. I used to play this one a lot late at night.
Looks sweet.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, a little bit of Tetris, right?
Old one, but yeah, it's kind of like Tetris. They got to fit in certain spots. Classic.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, next question from Zap. I ask a lot of questions, so I got to know what makes a good listener question. What about a bad one? Have you ever had a question so bad you didn't even bother responding?
Yeah, there's been ones that we just don't put on the list. Oh,
Has there?
Yeah, dude, there's been some bad ones where it's just like
I don't remember any.
Who puts
maybe I
them on the
deleted
list?
them before. Oh, Bobby does most of the time, but yeah.
I think they all go on the list.
Or sometimes it will like because there's good questions that will get repeated, which is fine if there's been a year in between the same big question, like what game would you develop, which I think is on this one. That comes up like, which is not bad. It's a good question, and our answers change because we're changing and all that stuff, and we haven't become wild success with our other ones that we said that we were going to make. So yeah, if you get the same one too much, it just won't make it on the list, stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we never really know what's going to be a good one or a bad one. I mean, people like to throw in like just real funny, like random stuff. I'm not a huge fan of those ones, but I know you guys like them.
I was gonna say,
And then we'll
that's
riff.
actually what I
We'll
really
riff for
like,
20
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, and it's awful. I hate every minute of it.
Bobby has been trying to cut the listener question segment for years, guys. Just so you guys know. And we're like,
not
no.
cut it completely, but like I don't know. I feel like it's at the end of the show. People got a little bit of alcohol in them. It gets a little self-indulgent sometimes, and I fear that it turns off new listeners.
I don't know. what
Dude,
she's
it
talking
was
about.
way worse before though. Now it's fucking tame, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
compared.
when
We gotta
Chi and
look
Ray were here, dude, there was
Oh
some
God,
episodes
3-hour
there was,
podcast. Yeah,
yeah, turned into assault, man. That was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Assault.
Wow.
but
Wow.
What?
what I was saying though is you never really know what's a good listener question until like it comes up and you see what conversation pops out of it. Like sometimes I look at them and I'm like, oh, that's a shitty question, and then it like
Yeah.
we live on the show, it ends up sparking a really good conversation. So
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
never really know.
Yeah, some of the best content we've ever made all came from listener questions. We'll just go off, you know. The rest of it sucks.
Yeah, just fast forward to the listener questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. No,
All
it's just at the end.
Okay, another question from Zap. If you weren't on the podcast, what listener question would you want to know the answer to?
Oh man. You know, being a deviant, I'd probably ask some deviant shit.
Yeah, well, that's what our NSFW podcast is for.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I'd only be interested in asking the NSFW questions, I think.
Well, I don't really listen to a lot of gaming podcasts anymore, but when I did, I really did it just to find out about new games. And not even just like what's new and what just came out, but also like what's your favorite game? That's like such a bland question, but or what's a game that you feel is underrated, like those type, like what are the hidden gems? Like give me something that everybody else is not promoting out there and I already know about, so
A lot of times I'm confused as to what I think about something like I like it, but I don't like it. and then I'll hear Bobby talk about it, and he'll just fucking nail it, and I'll be like, now I know what I was thinking, because he's so much more articulate than I am. And I'm like, oh yeah, he sorts out my thoughts for me. So it'll probably be something like that. Like, hey, I'm a little fucking weird on this one game. What do you guys think? And then they'll talk about it. Or like, if I'm like this on a game, I'll go read and watch videos of other people's reviews on it and get some opposing opinions. Or I'll just rip one off straight up and just fucking present it to you guys like it's a fresh born baby. But yeah.
I do that a lot with movies. Like if I watch a movie and I'm just like not sure what I think about it, or I haven't, maybe there's something I didn't understand or didn't quite process, and then I watch like a review and I'm like, okay, that kind of clears it up for me now.
I was thinking about this about the Green Knight, Bobby. This is adjacent. Where like Bobby talked about the Green Knight, and then I was like, okay, Bobby review. And then we get to the end of the year. I was like, what was your favorite movie of the year? And he's like, I guess I'd go with The Green Knight. I thought you hated that movie from your review. Like, I had no idea.
I didn't. Wait, I said The Green Knight? That doesn't sound like me.
Yeah. Well, or one of your favorite movies of that.
No, it wasn't The Green Knight. Because that one, yeah.
No, dude, really?
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that was
Anyway,
my favorite movie.
It's happened a bunch of times where I'm like, I'm not sure what your review meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because a lot of times I'm still kind of like working through what I feel about a
as
movie.
you're speaking.
And
Yeah.
like I don't know. The first time I watch a movie, it's like I don't trust the first time I watch a movie. You know, there could be a lot.
We were talking about this on the Discord. By the way, you'd like to talk about movies? We have a tab just for that. It's called Movies on the DL. Anyway, me and somebody who's been very vocal lately. I forget his name. He's a new guy. But yeah, we both did not like the new Blade Runner the first time through, and then loved it the second time through.
Yeah.
You
Same
know?
thing with me too.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to watch the director's cut of the first Blade Runner movie, and then I'm like, okay, this is all starting to make sense now.
Fuck that
But-
movie.
We can all agree, all members of this podcast, everyone's sitting down, and actually everyone in the world, that The Green Knight was one of the worst films of all time.
Could have sworn that
Wow.
was the one.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
didn't watch it.
All right.
Don't
Apparently
start.
don't.
Yeah.
It is divisive. Okay. Another
Nick
question from Timmy Derp. I am playing Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, not a typo, at the moment, and the building infrastructure destruction is so satisfying. I love Teardown for the same reasons. Do you like destruction games? And if so, what is the greatest destruction game of all time?
Thank you for reminding me about Teardown, dude. I gotta go buy that.
I have a good one for this.
Go ahead.
I love destruction in games. They're fun. So I think that's part of what kind of drew me to Tentacular in a bit. I was like, I just want to destroy some things, break some things down, and chuck it into the ocean. And that's part of what's fun right now about Tentacular. But to me, the greatest game of all time for myself with destruction is Gary's mod, because you were building stuff and then tearing it down and destroying it. And so I always loved doing that. And I thought that was always like a really fun. It always led for a lot of fun stories, especially playing Gary's mod with other people as well and having a hand in destroying stuff.
I remember that for years, like 2 or 3 years after this game came out, this was like the bar. Like, oh, it has fully destructive, like Red Faction or whatever.
There was a really big trend.
Yeah.
The Battlefield series started doing it.
But they tried, but nobody came close to it.
Well, Battlefield, what?
It was
3?
like, yeah, it was
Three,
like
like you could
pre-
blow up buildings when people are hiding them, but then when you got to 4, they had Levolution, where
Yeah.
like some big event would change the map. I like that, but I remember like a lot of people being like, that's so gimmicky. But God, I always think of this kind of stuff. I always think of this game called Fracture, which I never played, but I saw this promotional material for it where they're interviewing the developers for it, and they were trying this like new technology where you could change the terrain. You know, you could throw a grenade and create like a kind of a hole or a valley there, or like a mound or something, like all these different things. And yeah, sorry, sounds like something's going on out there. But they were talking about it like it was the next step in evolution of video games. And then the game came out and it was like not a big deal at all. Like you throw a grenade in a certain spot and it would destroy this, but it was all like kind of pre-staged. But yeah, wasn't that great?
It's got to be really hard to program all that shit. It's like programming 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
What everything is and then what everything can be, right?
Yeah,
What is
but
going on?
best destruction game, Rock of Ages, maybe. I mean, it's not a first-person shooter, but that's like really satisfying, right? Like that's a game you kind of lean into when you're playing.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of anything offhand. Dude, you got anything? You remember any?
I mean, not really from a first-person shooter perspective, but I mean, I think probably the first game I played where you could actually destroy stuff was Theme Park on a Mac in like the 2nd grade.
Uh-huh.
And then like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and like all the way up to date, every now and then I'll just play City Skylines and make something that makes no sense, and then watch it flood the entire town and be like, all right, well, that's fun for the night.
Yeah. Fuck it up. Build it, then break it down.
That was a great. Was that a Bullfrog game? I
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. God, I played a lot of that. Is that Bullfrog? Yeah, that
Bullfrog,
was
yeah.
like what Peter Molyneux's company after he split from whatever. Yeah, you could like crank up the salt on the the shops that served fries, and the people would get real thirsty, and then like you'd sell more sodas, and if you didn't have enough urinals, people would just start pissing around the park and throwing up.
I'm thinking of like games where like it's 2 players, one person sets something up and the other one tries to destroy it. Rock of Ages had a multiplayer. You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Rampart was another one, but I'm missing another one where like I feel like you built up blocks and then somebody throws something at it, but whatever. If I can't remember it, it wasn't that good.
Yeah. All right, next question from Lasagna McGillicuddy.
That's who I was talking about with
talking about Blade Runner.
yeah, Blade Runner.
If there were a DLG game, what genre would it be, and is there a developer you'd want to work on it? Yeah.
Well,
tactical turn-based. I feel like you could do something there, or an RPG, because you got to do something that kind of brings out the uniqueness or the personality of each person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna say somewhat of a Jackbox game.
Yeah.
The
It's a fun time.
Jackbox game.
Fun time, different.
That's kind of
Yeah.
more our style.
We'd
Yeah.
each have our own sub game in
Yeah.
the game.
It's troll as shit. It's great.
Yeah.
All right. He also asks, what are some extreme examples of games that defied your expectations? Personally, I expected to love humankind, but it turns out we're just chilly acquaintances.
What about
So like disappointing games, God, Conan Unconquered, that was a big letdown.
God, Fallout 76.
And the thing about that game too, about Conan Unconquered, was like I wouldn't admit that it wasn't a good game for a long time. I pre-purchased it. It was the last game I ever pre-purchased, and you're never supposed to do that. But I was just like, no, it's totally good. You just got to do this. Like I was in complete denial for like a month about that game. I was making Christian play it with me.
That was the last game we played together too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, that can't be true.
I had a similar experience in a way with Fallout 76 when it came out. I was like, no, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be so incredible. Like, I love Fallout. I love Bethesda. I didn't really get crazy overhyped. And honestly, when it first came out, the first few hours, I had so much fucking fun. And it's because nobody knew what was going on. And it was played exactly like how it was supposed to be intended at the time, which was everybody's leaving. Their oh wow, now I'm blanking. Their Fallout shelters for the very first time and exploring a world that is not civilized.
Yeah.
So why on earth would there be NPCs if everybody has died?
Yeah.
Right? And I get how it was kind of boring and like lame after a while when there's not enough people playing, but when the game very first launched, there was a ton of people playing. And it was like everything was all meeting people on random experiences. I remember playing and just running through like the forest. And this is before they even had push to talk. And nobody knew like how the voice worked.
Yeah.
Like everybody was learning it for the first time. But I was just sitting there crouched looking at these bandits. And I just hear in the distance like, take me home, country roads. and I just like started laughing. And then it was just like dead silence. And shuffling. Like I didn't realize that I could hear. And so those kind of moments of MMORPGs are things that I love so much. And so like I felt like I got like a good example, but I also couldn't keep making excuses because the game is fucking bad. Like, it came out and it was a flop and it was bad, and a lot of people did not like it and enjoy it. And I didn't want to admit that it was bad. I was like, no, it's great. It just depends on the people that you're playing with. It's got to be with the people you're playing with. But then no, like, it completely fizzled out, and it was like, oh, I can't keep defending this turd.
I want to say that this was the first game that we played together, Days.
Yeah, maybe.
And I was impressed.
I tried so hard to
she's
sell
level
everybody on
28?
it. Yeah, I
What
went.
the fuck? And she came in and killed everything for us. She's like, here I am. Let's go this way. I'll show you guys what's going on. I'm like, yeah, let's just follow her. I think it was the first game we ever played together.
Probably. I tried really hard
I
to
didn't
get
play
everybody
that
to play
game,
that.
but I hated that game
Yeah.
by proxy. Because I was just like, look, dude, like you do a teaser trailer that's just like your logo up there. You get everyone all hyped up, and then you release the game, and you're just like, you figure out the game. Like,
Yeah.
just throw a
Yeah.
bunch
You
of
made
players in an environment that we created, and let's just see what they do, and then we'll tailor the game. And it's like, dude, all right, Bethesda, first of all, you already don't really, you rely on the community to like finish and
The
patch your
last
games.
20%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you already do that. Now you're just like, yeah, we're just gonna put the assets there and see what people do. It's a game, you know. It's I don't know.
But apparently, not a bad game now, somehow.
That's I don't know. It's not my type of game, but like I have heard good things, and if Nick were here, he would talk more about it. But
What
yeah,
happened?
it's
Did he say you have to go?
yeah. He said he had to go,
Oh.
but
Dude,
yeah,
you got
I think
one?
it's
You got
come
one for this
around.
one?
I mean, for me, it's pretty much every AAA shooter since Call of
Yeah.
Duty Modern Warfare 2019. I'm really, really hoping that the new Modern Warfare 2 returns more to like. I don't like the cartoony feel of the engine that they use in Cold War and the newer ones. I prefer like Infinity Ward makes the best Call of Duty games. I don't like any of the other ones.
Yeah.
And every time I try it, I waste my money, and it's upsetting.
And it costs $60 to find out every time.
Yeah.
Too. That's the
I
hard
really
part.
hope Modern Warfare 2 is going to be good as well, dude. Because, yeah, I'd love for the group, for you and all of us to get back together and playing all the time, but it's just not there yet.
I mean, the good thing about Call of Duty games is if you don't like it, you just wait a year for the next one to come out.
Yeah,
right?
facts, yeah.
I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, but Cyberpunk's just launched. I mean, I'm so in love with CD Projekt Red to this day.
Yeah.
I love everything they do, except for that thing that they did. And now it's supposedly good. I just haven't gone back and played it.
Yeah, I think
so,
if you went back now, especially now that all the hype is gone,
Yeah.
and you just enjoyed the game for what it is, I think you'd really like it. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Next Call of Duty will have a 2-year cycle. Okay, well, guess you got to wait longer. All right, well, just play one of the other 20. You know, there's a good one in there. Okay, Old Man Dave, he's got a long one here. As the line between console and PC gaming shrinks, what influences from consoles do you see creeping into PC gaming, both good and bad? For me, the loss of serverless and private servers for most new multiplayer shooters has really killed the online communities for the genre. On the plus side, the button bloat that was the norm for MMOs is almost non-existent for newer MMOs, thanks to the implementation of controller support. And how has the PC influenced console gaming, good or bad?
I think you just
You kind
answered your own question, man.
Yeah.
Like you really nailed it on a few of those. But the bad would definitely be what I call like consolitis. I hate being on my PC and then just be riddled with this UI that is obviously made for controllers, but it's a game that I'd rather play with a mouse and keyboard, like a shooter. Like I'm obviously going to play a shooter with my mouse and keyboard. Don't give me a controller UI. That doesn't work with the mouse very
Absolutely.
well.
See, I don't know. The whole consolitis thing, I always thought that was it was more vague and hard for me to explain. Remember a week or two ago when we were trying to define a CRPG and we're just like, I don't know, there's just more of a complexity. And yeah, it's the isometric angle, but it's also just like, you know, it's basically an RPG that a console player would not put up with, basically, because of its complexity. And I feel like, yeah, console players are definitely different. And when I play some games on PC, I can definitely tell. I can't really put a finger on it, but I'm just like, yeah, this was made for a console player.
Yeah,
This is
you
not
almost
for me.
always know. Dude, you got any?
Yeah, I think for me, I have to agree. Like the loss of serverless and private servers, like that was how I remember finding games from the very beginning, all the way up till very recently. I mean, and the loss of that really has impacted, I think, the quality of gameplay when it comes to online. Being able to go in and literally select the servers, like waiting in queue for a Battlefield server with a group of 6 or 8, it's a waste of time. You never get everybody into the game, it seems, or you get into a low pop server, and it was just a lot easier to go through a server browser. And those things I really do miss, you know. But at the same time, like there are games that like I don't think you could play it with, you know, like Rocket League. Try playing Rocket League with keyboard and mouse. Tell me how good you are.
Not very.
It's hard. It is really hard. I tried it. I was trying to be a PC elitist. It's like, no, I don't need a controller.
Yeah.
I bought a controller the next day.
Yeah.
I gave up. I was like, there's no way.
By the way, what
So-
are you rocking? What controller? do you have
I've
right
got
now?
a Razer Wolverine Tournament Edition.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
not bad.
fancy.
It's not bad. It's got back buttons that I thought I'd use, and I absolutely don't. So
Well, the other thing specific to PC game has always been the modding too. You know, that's
Yeah.
a big part of it as well. And as the the shift or the focus shifts towards console gaming, that seems like it's not. We kind of get that taken away from us sometimes. Like if a game is designed to come out on a console, and it later comes out on PC, there may not be mod support.
And by the way, no problems with the mods on the deck. Just like if you're a
Just
PC.
like on Steam.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Another question from Lasagna McGillicuddy. What's a multiplayer game you know to be incredible, but is dead due to people not playing it for whatever reason?
What's the
Rip
one that we
Guns of
always
Icarus.
bring up, Bobby? What is that fucking 2-layer MOBA third person
Well, that game literally got killed by no people playing it.
Yeah.
Super Monday Night Combat.
Super Monday Night
God.
Combat? Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell people how great that game was because you can watch the YouTube videos, but playing it was so much fun. A little grindy, but it was like this arena combat MOBA, and it had these announcers. Whenever you would make a play, the announcers would talk, and they had this. The more they would talk, you'd see this kind of backstory between them. Like one of them was like an ex-player, and he was kind of dumb because he'd been hit in the head too many times, and the other one kept on talking about his ex-wife Sheila, and they
Yeah.
just had all these stupid jokes. I mean, it was just it was in the background, but it was so funny.
Didn't get old as far as I remember.
But
man.
this game, I imagine the gameplay would have really been dated. If we were to go back, I'm sure it wouldn't be that great. But I've never seen anything as good as those two announcers.
And it was interesting because it was a MOBA on one level, right? You had this level that you're playing on, but the jungle was the second level. So you would jump down into the jungle, and that would act as the jungle. And there'd be elevators that would bring you back up if you didn't have mobility. But yeah, I always thought that was really interesting. I don't think I had seen it before. Like Smite was out, but it used a different jungle system.
Yeah, it was
This
your
was
more
like-
standard MOBA map.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, this game was great. Had that ex-pro wrestler who would hook people. Yeah, good time. A lot of hours spent on that game.
Fun game.
Got another one, and this is the one I always say is Awesome Knots. It was a 2D MOBA, cartoon MOBA done like a Saturday morning cartoon. It was fantastic. I love that game. Put a lot of time into that and enjoyed every minute of it. It took a MOBA game and kind of took away, like MOBA games I always felt like brought out the worst in people. Definitely me when I played them. They just get people so angry at each other and so frustrated. And it's like, a game shouldn't really do that. But this kind of, I don't know. It improved on that a little bit. It all just didn't seem that serious. But and there's been other 2D MOBA games out there. There was that one Hyper Universe that
Today's.
yeah, oh god, yeah, that had to be censored in Korea because it was just like too
So
much cleavage.
titties.
Yeah, and that one was all right, but like it just didn't feel quite like this one. And this game's still out there. It's free to play now, but Sniper, scroll down. Let's see how many concurrent players we got here. It just doesn't have the community. Yeah, 167 people playing it right now.
And by the way, each one of them a goddamn assassin.
Yeah,
You can't go play that game.
yeah, they'll just murder you.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate when you have a really good game that relies on a community because it's, first of all, it's hit or miss whether or not that community is going to build. Like you kind of know after launch. Like Amazon, they had that MOBA-ish game they released, and it just didn't get as many people playing it, and they just axed it right away.
Yeah.
So it's you take that risk when you make a game like that.
Imagine New World to be taking even hits too, with like not having a lot of people around.
Yeah.
Since a lot of it does determine with trade and the way that a lot of the cities and towns and stuff were built off of like the community itself.
I saw that. What's the big game that everybody's playing? The Souls like
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring lost 90% of its players, but it's just like it's natural. The people that are going to keep going, either you finished it and you're done, or it got too hard and you're done.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Those copies are sold. They made their
Well,
money.
yeah, it's a single player game.
Yeah.
It's like a campaign game. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't, it's not like it's got a MAU or a monthly active user base or
It's-
whatever the hell they call it.
It's nowhere near as sad as watching something dwindle and die, like this.
Well, Sniper just pulled up a really good one. I think that was an excellent answer to this question. Like Slapshot and Slapshot Rebound. It was an
Yeah.
amazing game, and it is an amazing game. But yeah, if you don't have enough people to have a hockey game against, then you have no hockey game. And
Yeah.
so, what was it, like 180 people are playing it right now? So it's, small numbers like before.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer because that
It
game
is
is
a
a lot
bummer.
of fun. That game's also the kind of game where I think you would much rather play it on a controller than a PC, for sure. A lot of the sport games, I think, work better on a controller as well.
For sure.
But yeah.
What's next?
Let's see. Warconius asks, if you were half fish and half human, and would you take the bottom half as fish like the Little Mermaid or the top half like King Shark? Same thing with a tiger and chicken.
I would definitely take a fish bottom because I could swim super fast
Same.
and just yeah, for sure. And then still talk.
Really? Well, then you'd have a cloaca. Well,
Okay.
if you were a shark.
I'll take one of those.
All right.
Can I fuck it?
Well, that's the thing. You also poop and pee out of it.
Oh.
So
All right. I'll wash it. Definitely a tiger upper body. I feel like I'd get all the chicks with that. And a chicken, I don't want either one. I'd rather die than have any chicken parts.
okay. I
Wow.
don't like this Google
Yeah,
search.
yeah.
Oh!
That's not. That's
But that's not even that bad, guys. It's just a cloaca. It's just Emilio.
wow.
I washed it. I promise.
I watched it.
I watched.
With my no hands that I have.
Oh my God.
I would also go bottom half like a fish with the Little Mermaid for sure. Definitely. I also would want to swim faster, and it'd be cool to keep titties. Why not? And with a tiger, yeah, I'd also want to have the top half of a tiger. I'd have tiger claws. That'd be cool.
And for chickens, right?
With chickens, you know what? I'd want to be like Chicken Police, paint it red. Give me my top half being a chicken, dude.
Yeah.
Cluck, cluck, motherfucker. Yeah.
Look, look.
Cluck, cluck. What about you? What are you guys? Either of you?
Oh, I'm top half all the way.
Top half, all
yeah,
of it?
all the way, all the way.
Shark
Legs are
Man.
awesome. Like King Shark's cool. King from Tekken is cool, and like top half of chicken reminds me, Chicken Boo from Animaniacs.
There we
It's a
go.
throwback, but
Sounds like a dude with a
that
big,
guy I always like those. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I can do that.
Sounds like a dude with a big dick. He's like, I'm not losing this big dick no matter what.
Give me a fish head. Big
Yeah.
dick. That's what I want.
Yeah, Chicken Boo.
Chicken Boo. They brought
Yeah.
Animaniacs back on Hulu recently too.
It's great. It's still funny.
Classic.
Hello, nurse.
I don't know. I guess take the top half of a shark and the bottom half of a tiger. Mix and match there. Switch it up. There we go.
And no chicken? You're not even going to entice that?
No,
No.
chicken on the side. Are we to assume in this
I'm a side of
scenario
chicken.
that like a person had sex with a shark, tiger, and chicken, and you are the spawn of that?
Ooh, how would you distribute? It's funny because if you go with wings, you can't fly still because you're chicken wings, right?
So you'd be delicious.
Delicious.
All right. Another hypothetical here from Lasagna McGillicuddy. Do you like your eggs cooked correctly or thoroughly?
I want to go last because I have a funny
I don't
story
know
with
what
this.
either one of those mean. I like them scrambled.
What do you mean you don't know what they mean? This is
What
what
is
they
poached?
mean. This is what they mean. Do you like your eggs cooked correctly, which is having a little bit of run to them, like sunny side up would be
Oh.
my imagine, or like think of like an eggs Benedict, or would you want your eggs cooked completely through, like scrambled and
So
you know,
thoroughly then.
Yeah, thoroughly. Yeah, all
I
the
like
way
scrambled. Yeah. I don't like the yellow runny stuff.
What?
through.
That's the whole point of an egg. Oh, this is content. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, this is good. This is a good question right here. What about you guys?
Eggs Benedict.
You
All
like
the way.
okay? You
All
like
the way.
a? Oh,
Yeah.
well, wait,
Runny.
hold up.
Poached egg.
Oh, okay. You want it cooked correctly then, not
Yeah,
thoroughly.
Yeah. Although
Okay.
I also like hard boiled eggs, so
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
little cool hand Luke for me there.
I could go either way on this, honestly. I'm not a big fan of eggs in general, but I eat them both ways.
Doesn't come in a bottle. I don't need it.
I mean, you can get like the liquid egg thing or something.
Okay, so I've got a pretty funny story related to this. I like my eggs cooked. I kind of like them for different things. If I were to like fry them up in some, like I like a good fried egg and eggs that are cooked thoroughly. I like hard boiled eggs as well, and I like pickled eggs. But I really love eggs Benedict, and like if I were cooking them myself, I would probably do something that was like sunny side up. But this kind of reminds me of what's funny when you're saying like cooked correctly or thoroughly. I feel like a lot of that is regionally that I've been seeing. Like when I was in Pennsylvania, there were people so confused when they would ask me how I'd want my eggs, and I'd say sunny side up, and they'd be like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I'm like,
Really?
Well, I always
like-
thought that sounded like very, I don't know, like colloquial, like sunny side up. It just doesn't seem like an industry term. Like I don't.
it seems like something a goofy Michigander came up with and was like, "Oh, hey
Oh,
there,
we-
bud, you want some ranch with your sunny
Yeah,
side up
it's
eggs?"
very true. I
Yeah.
feel like we
Ranch?
said that out here.
No,
We-
no,
we-
you don't
we
want
s-
ranch.
We use that
Everybody
phrase
would know.
out here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like Denny's like created that phrase or something, but
No, they have moons over
Or
Miami.
over
Moon's over
easy
Miami,
and-
there you go.
But so in Pennsylvania, they call that a dippy egg because it's what you could dip
oh,
your
that's
bread
even
in.
worse. It's
Yeah.
getting stupider and stupider.
I didn't
So-
like Pennsylvania to start with, and
So
now
no, Pennsylvania's got some good moments, but it's got some moments that are stupid. Yeah, and this is one of them with the eggs because that cracked me up. There was one time I was at a diner and I wanted sunny side up with my eggs so I could dip my bread in the yolk. That is why I wanted it. But me and the like diner waitress were getting so confused with each other because she's like, "How do you want your eggs?" And I was like, "Oh, sunny side up or over easy." And she was like, "Well, what do you mean by that? Like, do you want?"
are you coming out to me?
She's like, "Do you want some slime with your egg?" And I was like, "Who the fuck wants
Slime?
slime? Like, I don't want it raw."
Oh my god.
Just fucking nuke America, dude.
And then I
Just-
found
just
out later
too far.
that and I found out later they were like, "Oh, you should have ordered a dippy egg." And I was like,
Oh my
"What is
God.
that? That is so dumb." And
But-
they're like, "Yeah, it's a
You know, at diners, there's like this whole language that they speak.
Yeah.
You know, for all these different orders. You know, like a pin of rose on it. You know, put a tomato on it. Like there's.
I didn't know what poaching was until like 5 years ago. I had never heard somebody was like, "I had some poached chicken." I was like, "It means
when you
boil,
go-
right?"
yeah,
Yeah. Or when you
Yeah.
go and like kill deer on the king's land.
yeah."
Bobby's joke of the year, dude. I can't. title this one, dude. Killing fucking deer on the king's land.
Just call
That's a
it
little long.
poached.
Good.
DLG gets poached.
All right. Last question from False Josiah. Did we get everyone on the egg? On the egg? Did everyone weigh in on that? We got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
All right. False Josiah, with all the companies being sold, what long dead IP would you like to see come back? And would you want them to stick to what the IP was originally or want them to change it up?
I feel like this is like a leading question. Like False Josiah really has something lined up that
He's got an agenda here.
He's definitely hit.
Well, he didn't do the
this
thing
is-
that a lot of people do where
Oh,
they
yeah, yeah.
they
Answer
ask the
your own
question and then
Yeah.
answer it. And I'm always tempted to just cut their answer off when I'm reading it. But I wouldn't do that to you. No, I'll give you one. Commander Keen, where's that franchise been?
I don't even know what it is.
Commander King?
Yeah, you bring it up all the
King?
time. I don't know what it is.
Oh, man. The little kid with the football helmet. It was an old id Software game. Yeah.
Nope. No idea.
Shareware days.
I'm gonna, even though it's live and thriving, I would Street Fighter. I know that it's.
You're
out
talking
there.
about the real Street
Yeah,
Fighter.
the real Street Fighter.
They've been
The
holding
fucking
out on us.
back at the fucking exactly.
Yeah.
Why am I playing these fucking gigantic muscular anime characters anymore? I need like regular sized human beings and good gameplay mechanics and I don't know. That's what I need. So bad. I just
All right.
realized it. I'm getting sad. Yeah.
guess I don't know. I guess in a way they are. I guess I wouldn't really say it's long dead. I want it now. The Elder Scrolls IP.
Oh yeah, Red Guard, Red something.
Yeah.
Well,
They pushed it back to 2020.
Skyrim came out 2011.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're about due.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
they
been
said,
10 years. That's a long time.
They
Yeah.
said it was going to come out next year.
Well,
Shit.
didn't they just announced they're
They-
going to push back Starfield and one other game?
This is it.
This
That's
is
it.
it. The
Oh,
one
the
where,
Elden
yeah,
Ring? Or
yeah.
Yeah, but
the
it doesn't say
Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. They
No,
call it
it's
Red, whatever.
Redfall or something. I
Redfall.
think.
Yeah, and the people in the know what that means.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Obviously not.
God damn, there better not be one single microtransaction in that game.
Yeah, we'll see. With
Oh
the Elder
my
Scrolls
God.
That's what we
6,
got.
yeah,
That's
it's
it.
gonna be dead.
It's got mountains and rivers, guys. But fuck,
It's the Breton land. Yeah, it's the land of the Bretons. I think
think
is where
of
they were
fucking
going.
how
Fable.
massive Skyrim was. Just like, jeez, to make something like that, it's incredible.
Well, I'd love to see the next edition of that, but maybe before I die.
So
Who knows?
we'll take your question, we'll turn it into what we want, and tell you
Yeah.
something we're just randomly thinking about.
Yeah.
What do you got, Duder? You can literally talk about rainbows or butterflies or whatever you want.
Yeah, at this point.
Well, like if I were to pick a particular game,
Yeah.
Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. I want him to redo it.
Damn.
I really enjoyed that particular version of his like
Of what he
Civilization
does,
series
yeah, yeah,
games.
yeah.
And I thought that was really good. But if I could pick an IP entirely, Descent. It was an old first-person
Oh, is that a
shooter.
6DOF.
Yeah, where you fly around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Oh,
playing
yeah.
that all the time with my dad as a kid, and like I think today with modern graphics and lighting, you could make that almost into a horror game. And I think it would be really, really fun to play.
Well,
Good call.
are they still making 6DOF games? I feel like they are, but just not a lot of people are playing them. It's kind of like a retro thing.
Yeah,
6 Degrees of Freedom for those not in the know.
yeah.
Thanks for laying that out.
But I think if you did this with some VR and
Ooh.
VR.
one of those 6 Degree of Freedom rigs, oh man.
Yeah. Oh, this is a classic one. Descent.
God, there's a game that's similar. Something of guns. Shit. I don't know. I just ruined the podcast. All right. So the things we talked about this episode were on the radar was how do you say it?
VITURE.
VITURE. VITURE 1 was the glasses. Warhammer 40K Chaos Gate, Daemonhunters. That's one game, guys. I don't know how many syllables. Lost Nova. Don't even remember what that was about. Citizen Sleeper. Be Funny Now. Right now. Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. Ravenous Devils. RiffTrax. The game. Not to be confused with whatever else they do. And then highlights, we played Escape with from Tarkov, Tentacular, GORN, and Seraph's Last Stand, Bloons Tower Defense 6, Rogue Legacy 2, For the King, Peglin, and Rocket League. Oh, and Game of the Weeks, which we were divisive on, was Project Zomboid. I'm going to go with the preemptive titties here. I got to see what's going on with something's going on in my household. The door keeps slamming, so I think something's going on. So I'm going to say titties right here. I'm going to let you guys close it out. Motherfucking titties.
All right.
All right. So I
Cool.
guess speaking for DuderMcBadass, Bobby, Sniper, Emilio's titties, and myself, the preemptive titties.
That's a wrap. Nobody cares what we're playing next week.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. It was a long one. It was a long one, folks.
We're probably playing some video games next week.
Yeah. If
Just-
you made it this
Game
far,
7.
I'm proud of you.
Game 7, Calgary Flames, folks. The go all the way.